bat time, same bat channel. Randy, we're going to wave goodbye now. We'll see Sharif at the green screen and Obi and Sean at the big desk. Let's go.
See you.
Welcome to the Afternoon Rundown, the show where you decide what we talk about every day. We got Obi today instead of Neil, but Sean's locked and loaded. They're ready to look at the trades as decided by you. So I hope you joined Adara and I on the How to Trade Midday show and you got into that chat and you're voted for your favorite tickers, but it's a subscriber-only chat, so make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Yes, this is a look at the TQQQs. We are at highs, the best performing indice on the day. It was one of the worst yesterday. We're up 0.5% right now on the actual triple Qs, about flat on the ES and about down 0.5% on the Dow, 4/5 in the negative though. On the Russ, it is underperforming on the day. First ticker we want to look at, Tesla. So no real catalyst today to talk about, but there were good China sales. Look at this headline here with insurance registrations increasing over 16,000 in China, as well as Elon Musk, for whatever reason, wanting to make the yoke stationary while the car is parking itself. I wonder if that had anything to do with people intervening while it was parking itself, guys.
Yo, everybody. Okay, so I was a little chilly. No, I had to put the mic on with the jacket. Yeah.
All right, it's all good. It's all
What's going on, guys? How's it going?
Yeah, Obi, welcome back. Welcome back to the show here. I am short right now on NVIDIA, so I have to make sure that we watch out for this one. The market's starting to get up to the upside. We will talk about all of these names, of course. We're short right here into VWAP. If we break it, we're out. I just want to give that a little bit of a talk right there because that's what we were doing. We just got stopped out of the TQQ short because we were talking about being short into this market. But the problem here is that right now you're at the highs of the day. So I'm going to give it one shot here to get back into the downside. We like the 60 short there on the triple Qs. It just broke, so we're out of it here. I'll show the trade. We're going to be out of NVIDIA in just a matter of seconds here. You break through 85, we're gone. I'm not letting this one get meme. There it is. Not letting this one get too carried away. There's the short. We were shorting this all afternoon. All during the morning there and throughout the lunchtime part. And then we shorted the Qs. We did too much success. Shorted at VWAP, got stopped out, shorted again there, made some money back, just shorted again, and then just shorted at 60.20 and got stopped out. So we're now out of all of the shorts. The market is really starting to bump higher. Look, Tesla was a trade today. TSLA. Palantir, we're wearing our Palantir hat. I mean, we'll talk more about that. Palantir was quite the story today. All right, 222 there on Tesla. We're not long, but that was the stock that we liked. All right, really choppy early. We were waiting for those bids to come in. They didn't come in. They just started going real fast, real quick. And then it came back there, and we were already obsessed with other names at this point. But Tesla bounces smoothly off 220 this morning. That was a great trade. That 220 all the way up to 226, that's $6 almost in a straight line with a little bit of a pullback there for $2 in between 224 222, and then it reaccelerated right back up. So I feel like the minute that we lost sort of this area right there, which was 222 again, I guess, that's when we started to go down. But look at us respect that level. It's on the sticky note here of 222. That looks like it's going to be a great long, and I actually like it back in as well. So if we can get something back at the 200 period to 221.50 or so, I like these bids. I think you can start the bidding down here. Tesla up 3%. Whenever we have a bullish day and Tesla's going, we know it's going to be outpacing the market. And I feel like with the good tariff numbers, the good China numbers, this is not to be expected, but no surprise there on Tesla numbers today, and that they're up 3%. So I think the China did surprise everybody. The Chinese economy is supposed to be weaker, as we hear, but yet they're buying more Teslas. So very, very interesting setup there for Tesla. Nice move today. I still like the long in and around 222. So we'll see if that comes through or not.
Yeah, that drive off of the open, that was definitely something there on Tesla breaking through prior day's highs right there, right off of the open, a bit of a lick grab through that. Pre-market high breakout as well, so a nice little opening drive push, pulls back into VWAP and holds. But take a look at this, guys. Pretty much been trading sideways since then. We did kind of retrace all the way back down through day lows. Now we're reverting back up into VWAP, trading at 222.80s right now. But yeah, the strong flush on Friday, oh boy. That thing was quite aggressive. We still haven't recovered quite the whole move, but yeah, nice little, I guess we're over a 50% retracement with today's high right there on Tesla, retracing about, what is this, almost 8% off of Friday's close into today's high on Tesla. So yeah, we'll see what this name has in store. A lot of spiciness with the Chinese news coming out on this one.
Amazon was an interesting trade today, especially at that 180 level. Multiple rejections into 180, but that gave way in the later part of the day. So a couple of headlines here. Oracle reported yesterday absolutely exceeding expectations, and they did mention their partnership with Amazon and how they look to expand their business together. Having here BOA analyst Justin Post maintaining the buy rating on Amazon and boosting that price target to 210. Separately, there was this headline yesterday. Of course, Monday Night Football was on yesterday. AWS and the NFL looking at also expanding their partnership again. And, don't really know if those are the catalysts that sent this one up, but it's been one of the strongest ones on the day, guys.
All right, what's up, everybody? I'm shorting the two triple Qs right here. All right, yeah, so Amazon is going to be P&L number one, and it's a monster today for me. We talked about this early. There it is right there. Amazon 178.50 long break. Goldman Sachs upgrade. The deal with Oracle should help this stock boost. So that's basically what we put on there, and it was pretty much exactly what it was. There's the TQQs. We'll wait to see if it breaks 50, just recent highs. So, yeah, it always turns out that we should have held everything, but we already got out at 180 there. So we initially dipped down into Amazon for the opening trade there. We like the long. We thought we could support the 200 period. We always like that. If we write down a long on the stock and we like it and it dips down off the open, I just look at that as a good opportunity to get involved. So we'll take that. Hold on a second. I need to put some bids out here on the TQs because we're starting to go down a little bit here, and I want to make sure we capture some kind of profit. There it is. Nice. Okay, starting to go down nicely now. All right, so there's the trade, and there's the 178.50, a nice break. Got as high as 179.50, got as high as 180 there. We reloaded it at VWAP. We tried again at the 200. Look, me and Obi sat here for a couple minutes afterwards, and we said, look, if we're going to lose on trades that actually are supposed to be taken, then that's completely fine. Amazon comes right back in. We tried the 200 again. It lost it, so we got out. We sort of left Amazon alone since then. But that is a nice break here of that 180. As you can see, we still climb higher and higher. And look at it, just love the 50-period moving average. It's a huge move up there off the 50. We'll see if we can hold that 180 right now in question. I mean, I like it. I think we're getting a little bit high right now on the name. I didn't think we'd get to 181. We almost did today. We're short the market here. Doesn't mean that we're going to be short forever. But Amazon right now, if we can get a pullback into VWAP or something around 179, I think that's a trade that I like a little bit better than where we are right now. Great move. We had it. It's going to be P&L number one, and it really started our day off right.
Yeah, we were looking at this name off of the open. Again, Sean with the banger trade right off of the open, the opening drive pushing 78's pre-market high, a little bit of a continuation from prior day. We saw that strength come in, not only going into the close on a lot of the Mag 7 names, but on Amazon specifically, we pushed all the way to 177s, well into not well into the after hours, but well into the aftermarket trading session, all the way up into what is that? Almost 5 p.m. there, and retracing that Friday's high as well. So a little bit of confluence. We have a trend that's been broken off of Friday, and then Friday's high, where we saw that aggressiveness getting sold off. We broke that high as well, going right off into the open set 178 halves for a push into 179s, and we kind of pull back a little bit with market tailwind. We saw what the market did in and around 11:30 there, around the midday session. So nice little flushes, but Amazon holds and continues to push towards high of day there as the futures print some fresh highs as well. So Amazon printing high of day at 180.50. Let's see if this ticker continues going into the rest of the week here, Sean.
DJT next there, and it was a big mover there in the pre-market. As you see the headline, 8% running up there. A couple of headlines, obviously. We know that the debate is today with Kamala Harris, scheduled at 9, but there was also this headline yesterday. The sentencing was delayed till after the election. So a bit of a nice catalyst there, but I don't think the Donald is as impressed with this V-shaped retracement, guys, off the high. I got cut up trading this one.
All right, we didn't trade it at all. Yeah, I mean, the catalyst today is there. So, I mean, this could have been a trade for sure today. Breaking some of these highs right there at 19, I guess 1870. That was pretty cool. If you were patient enough to wait for that, and that would have happened around 11:20, that would have given you a beautiful move up to $20. I mean, the fact that it stopped almost to the penny at $20, I mean, it got to 20.10, and then now it's down again from there. So you're down almost $1.50. You're down like Fabian, I hear you, man. That goes from, you saying China, $20.10 all the way down to $18.50 right there. I mean, I don't like the stock. I've sort of talked about that. I think if you want to trade it, you're just sort of throwing darts. And I think at that point, you might as well wait for some of these levels to come in. So if you like it, here's the 50 period. We haven't broke it since, so why not try it? Again, you get a little bit of a cross here between the 200 and the 50. This is just a 20-minute chart. I think you want to try it maybe down to 18. I would say the lowest you'd go, oh, there you go, just filled up. The lowest you'd want to go here would be the 1770 area for a trade. So yeah, good short there at 20. I mean, we've been up here before. If it gets back there, I like the short. You know, what could they possibly, like, let's just play it out. Like, if you're long DJT here, like, what could happen tonight that absolutely impresses you so much that you think this stock is going to rocket tomorrow? So I don't, unless Kamala looks horrible. Yeah, I mean, he's gonna. I mean, that's in my ear. They're saying, well, what if he roasts her? I mean, he's gonna try that anyways, right? I mean,
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. So I just don't know. I don't like holding something, waiting for something. You know, it's one thing. We talk about trading in front of earnings. Kind of reminds me of that.
Yeah.
We don't really know how this trade's gonna react tonight, and how the debate's gonna go. So if you want to take the risk, take it. But I think if you break below that 1750, you're in a little bit of a spot. So.
No, I definitely agree. It goes back to the saying where it's like, okay, well, you know, you want to react and not necessarily anticipate. You want to participate in the move when and if you see it. And yeah, definitely, if you're doing that, then you're kind of anticipating and hoping for something to potentially happen. But oh boy,
what?
the reversion was beautiful on this one. I definitely missed out on that one. VWAP hold, nice little push all the way up into 20s. Failure to follow through of the $20 mark, and a nice little flush right back down. So a nice symmetrical move coming in on DJT here, about an hour up, and then almost just 2 hours to get back all the way down. So interesting stuff nonetheless. We know it's been moving around for the past couple of days there. You can see the relative volume that it had yesterday coming into today as well, breaking past some of yesterday's highs and even that pre-market high, but a failure to follow through of that 20 and then retracing pretty much the whole move back into the opening price as of right now on DJT. So pretty much flat move on the day, but opportunities nonetheless both ways on this name. So beautiful. Price action.
Yeah, before we go on, I just want to say one other play that we had talked about this earlier when we talked about crypto. I mean, Mara right now is at 1550. It's still going higher and higher and higher. Right now, Mara's not stopping, up 7%. I said that the play that could be there tonight is Bitcoin, right? If there is some discussion about Bitcoin, there's been some talk that Trump might mention something there in and about BTC. So I could say that would be an influential moment, right? So I think that if they bring that to the forefront tonight, I talked about it earlier. I think Bitcoin was, I don't know what it was, whatever time it was that we talked about it, you and I, say that there could be a run on Bitcoin if there is some positive talk tonight about it. And especially if Trump says something, because he was at the Bitcoin conference there in Miami. And, you know, so we know that they're pro on that side. I think RFK was also talking about it a little bit. So the thing is like, if they're pro it and then Kamala comes out and also gives, you know, positive feedback about whatever the discussion is, there could be no talk at all. Yeah. But if there is, then maybe the Democrats get on board with some crypto talk, and which I think sparks a nice move there. We're still on the TQQs. We're going to get a little bit out. We're 5 cents in the money short the market. But let's go find out about GME.
I think that 29% or 25% capital gains tax might feature tonight, Katina, man, especially with Bitcoin being an asset class. All right, here, GME reports after the bell tonight. Not too many analysts cover this story, so there's not too many, or stock, excuse me, so there are not too many predictions, but the options market does have something to say. We're expecting plus or minus 10% the expected move here. Also, last week, Roaring Kitty, Keith Gill did, tweet a very kind of hard to understand, but he was a picture of a toy dropping the dog, you know, kind of interpreted as his dropping his position on Chewy, which had GME and AMC moving. We'll find out today what the situation is, guys.
I mean, will we? I mean, I don't know if we'll find out the situation exactly, but we'll definitely see what's going to happen tonight with GameStop's earnings. I mean, I feel like it's been a nothing burger the last couple of times, and I could be wrong. We'll have to double check the past couple moves. We can do that right after this. But the short float is only 9%. So it's not like a huge short float. That was the reason. Remember, we got to sort of think about where GME has come from and where it's possibly going. I mean, that huge move that was sparked there with dumb money and all that kind of stuff was because it was taking advantage of the short flow, right? And that was over levered, and we all know that story. And then the option market went insane, and that's why Sharif was mentioning it right there again. As not many analysts looking at this name right now, they've been sort of a business that's, I mean, I'm surprised every time I see a GameStop with its doors open. I'm not a gamer by any stretch of the imagination, so there goes the TQQs just now taking out that high. So we tried it at 60.50, it's now dropping back in, back up, so we'll out, and we'll stop a fail on that last attempt to go short the market for sure. So anyways, GameStop right there, I don't know, down 1%. We were talking about it earlier. It was up a little bit there. It's fallen back through. Relatively flat day. We'll wait to see what those earnings. You can join me on the after hours, and we'll go over all of that as it comes through. So for me, I mean, I like the stock. I don't know. It has good moves. If it can move, that's fine. I think you just want to wait to see maybe a plan for the future. I don't know. The last thing you want to hear is a debt sort of offering. But I thought the last time we checked, actually, and before I go on this, because there's probably people that are watching, I thought they had a lot of cash. Yeah, they have not a lot, but they have 1 billion, which I guess is a lot. They're sitting there in cash. So with a market cap of 10 billion, cash on hand 1 billion, we'll see how much they're losing. Because their EPS right there minus 12 cents. We'll see if they can get that into the positive, because if they keep burning through, we got to figure out how many more quarters the cash pile can last. So we'll find out more about GME tonight. As Sharif was saying, the story will be told tonight in and around 4:30.
Yeah, we definitely have to see how many quarters are left before the game stops.
That's it.
At the arcade there. So GME again. Yeah, I know it's been on watch. We've been doing a little bit of volume over the past couple of days, couple of weeks as well. End of August, we started getting this bid back above this $20 mark there. And again, August 5th being the low at that 17.57. A bit of a failure to follow through on a higher time frame. If you take a look here as well, you can see that's been breaking down. Finally gets back below this 20 mark and then pushes right back in. That 20 staying a little significant. Again, you can see that 20 is where we rocketed up from. We held that level multiple times. Another failure to follow through once again, and a level hold. We've been bidding up, but yeah, not necessarily in play for me just yet. But it is giving us moves. A little bit more liquidity, more volume over the past few days coming into this 25 level. So it might be something we want to keep an eye on. And yeah, Sean's right. The whole GME debacle is kind of based off of the short float and short float and that type of concept. Let's see if we get more traps on this name to give us some fuel for a further upside move. But yeah, that 20 holding I think is a much bigger picture kind of story. We are trading at 24s right now on GameStop.
$14.4 billion is what Apple is on the hook for. At least that's what the European Commission says, echoed by the European Court of Justice. Now, that's how much they owe in back taxes to Ireland, despite Ireland being okay with the matter. So we'll have to see how that one folds out. 14.4 billion is the quantum there. JP Morgan maintaining their overweight target or look on Apple with that 265 price target, and WED Bush raises theirs to about $300, obviously after Apple's glow time event yesterday. And this is kind of what we saw. So, a lot of new stuff. We have the iPhone 16 Pro, many variants of that. We're going to get the Apple Intelligence. That's going to come out in October. So slowly leaked out the Watch Series 10 bigger screen. So a good look there. And then the Watch Series Pro, obviously a lot to do with scuba diving and all these other different type of activities. But what really stood out to me was the hearing aid addition to the AirPods, now waiting for FDA clearance though.
Here, there's going to be a sick new wearable. And for Apple, it's going to be cameras in the AirPods.
Sorry, what?
Cameras? Mm-hmm. Listen, potentially. Maybe I shouldn't say anything, Me and Tim had a discussion there. The thing is, remember, people don't want to wear the glasses.
Yes.
Everybody you see walking around the streets of everywhere have AirPods in. Mm-hmm. All right? What they're going to do is put cameras right here.
Okay.
And that way, it's the same thing as wearing the glasses, except for it gives you the right in your ear. Like anything you want, boom. They talk about how the cameras can see. It's like same thing with Tesla. How they have the cameras and they have the wide angle.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So it's like it'll say like just like the glasses. Like you're walking up towards
So you can just
CN
take pictures
Tower
with your headphones.
Yeah, all stuff like that. It's just like the only thing you're going to need is AirPods. So anyways, I'm excited for that. We'll see when that comes.
It should be interesting.
But anyways, that's something that I had heard about. I think that could be something that's pretty hot because and we were talking about it earlier with the Apple Vision Pro. That has sort of been a flop, I guess, so far. So we'll see if that can get going. I didn't hear much about the Vision Pro at all. I just thought that was a cool idea. So many people have AirPods. I feel like the next iteration of it would be to have some sort of a camera in there, so it does the purpose of the glasses.
Yeah, I think that's fair. That's interesting.
Anyways, all right. So yeah, exactly. Black AirPods. Yeah, but I think they're like the white ones, anyways. All right. So I was talking about this with Randy actually when he was sitting here during lunch. Yeah, that's about right, 1 o'clock. Then we went to get the coffees. I was like, I'm going to short Apple because it was weak against the market. The market was up, Apple was down. So we tried that into the high of the day at that time, which was 220. I always like shorting 220 areas. It just turns out that it looks like yesterday's top was the high, 221.50. So that definitely on an island up there is joined today. So I feel like if you were patient enough and you waited to short something like that on Apple, that would be an idea. But we are red on this stock today as we tried to short it. Thought it was relatively weak. We got out of the way. It's just now touched the 50 period. This is the 1 minute chart. So you can see it really broke there and we've just sort of gone straight up. Reminds me of yesterday's break there on Apple, straight to the upside. I mean, it's almost the exact same break that happens right here at 218. Boom, up to 221.80. This right here, 219 break, up to 221.50. So it's a nice move up. We'll see if it fades back out. But for right now, I'm going to leave it alone. I haven't had the right read on it. I thought it would be weaker today. The Apple story is easy. Are they going to sell as many of these 16s as we think? Is this the super cycle that I think we all think that it is, and I think that Apple thinks that it is? So if that's right, then the analysts will hopefully be right on the buy side and wrong on the sell side. But right now it's a fight. So we'll wait to see what winds up happening here. I'm going to put some more bids out for the TQs, make sure that we get some out as it's falling in a little bit. So that's my take on Apple. I think it's worth the short up there again at 221.50.
Yeah, I like that. A bit of a range forming as of right now. Again, that 217 level showing up once again on Apple. Now I was talking to Jose in the back about this level just yesterday, and lo and behold, it shows up once again. Prior day's low holding. You can see a little bit of a bid here last Wednesday into the 217s, and then you can see that bid continue into the next day for a test of 225s. A little bit of something there at that 225, because coming in the next day, we bid all the way up there and sell off aggressively, only to come back and triple bottom now on this 217 here on Apple. Now, this triple bottom or quadruple bottom, if you kind of want to count this area as well, 217, 217 halves. A little bit of a hold on this 217 area. We've been ticking up off of that back into the 220s. Should be interesting. Again, with that Apple event that happened just yesterday. Let's see if Apple really glows up off of this base 217s.
No low-hanging fruit there at all. Okay, so glow Apple.
Yep.
And hanging fruit.
Yeah. A little bit of, yeah. Here we go. Punception.
Yeah, Inception. That's a good movie. You like that movie, Inception? Oh, yeah. First class. I need to get
Love that movie.
Need to get some of those
Solid.
pills. Need to get some of those pills. All right. Hey, trade the pool time. Look, if you're looking to join some funded traders, why not do it with Trade the Pool? You can see them on our screen right now. Go to tradethepool.com to find out more information. Becoming a funded trader means trading with whose capital, Obi? Firm's capital money instead of your own. At Trade the Pool, you can first complete an evaluation by hitting profit targets. Once made and you're managing risk, you can access up to $260,000 in buying power. You keep a whopping 80% of your profits while the firm covers the risk. It's a perfect way to trade big without risking your own funds. You can keep up to 80%. Ready to become a full funded trader? Join Trade the Pool. Make sure to please scan the QR code below or click the link in description to find more about Trade the Pool. So again, just another opportunity to join a prop firm. Prop trading is very, very popular, especially these days when you're looking to get funded. And of course, I think it's all about managing risk. You and I talked about that. That's been the one thing here that I've been on a prop floor my whole life. And it's all about managing risk. And sometimes I'm learning more and more, especially sitting beside a trader like you and various traders around here, that if we don't risk it, then there is no such thing as the biscuit.
Oh. I've heard that phrase before. That is much wisdom.
That's a good one. That's a good one. That was made famous by Mario Lemieux. No, it was
Lemieux?
Not. No, it was
Another
not.
Lemieux. Okay.
It was not. It was not. That was the same Lemieux, but not. That just goes back to the morning. At the end of the day, though, that's part of the benefit there of trading with like-minded individuals and being able to access firm capital. You can put a little bit more at risk. All right, just real quickly. So, yeah, we did get stopped out, man. But then you see what we saw. You see what we saw. A big sort of wick there that gave us that out. It was obviously not followed through. Luckily enough, we got out at 50s. We do not have to pay the piper all the way up there at 63 or whatever it was. But then once we faded back down, I said, let's just use this sort of as the high again and just bring the short back through. So that this time it worked. So we get stopped out there. We'll make it back. You know, hopefully we'll be able to get up on TQQ, but needs to be down to the downside. There's an airport fire somewhere in Southern California. More to come on that. That's from Benzinga Pro right now in my ear. I don't think there's anything happening. Let's check out the Jets ETF quickly. Okay, so it's still going to the upside, so it doesn't look like there would be anything related to individual stocks. We could check out Boeing maybe, but that's not doing anything. Anyways, that's just in my ear right now. So we'll figure that out, what's going on right now with fires there in California. Maybe it's environment related. We'll find out on that. But right now, here come the TQs. We'll wait to see a little bit of a move down here. $60.25 coming in for Palantir, for the TQQs here. Nice move down. I'm bidding 20s. Let's bid some 30s. There it is. We'll take some out right now as it's coming back in right now. So far, so good. I just saw someone say, oh, there's several fires in OC. Okay, so that's good. Not good, but it's good that it's not like a pressing moment at the airport. That was what I was fearing right there. But I think it's been a pretty choppy day.
Yeah, no,
what I was getting at. You have
choppy.
To trade the right names at the right time. And yeah, I think that's, you're not in anything right now.
I mean, no, I'm not really in anything right now. A couple of missed trades as well. There was a ticker that I was looking at for the reversion. I know we talked about it. Selling off, I guess, a little distinctly today. And the name is JPM. We talked about that 201 hold. It's all the way back up at VWAP, Sean. So we were looking at it at 201s, 202s. It's trading 205, almost 205 halves as of right now. So a nice little clean reversion back to VWAP here. See a little bit better here on the chart. Look at that beautiful, nice little cup action going on there. And look at that sustained relative volume, but the volume has been dying off there. That 261 is the low of day here on JPM. Let's see if the selling, again, I'm going to ask the same question. If the selling is real, where will it catch if we start to bid back up? And VWAP, I think, is a great place to kind of have a look-see at that. And VWAP right now sitting at 205.30s. We're trading just there right now. 205.34 to 39 is where the book is sitting at. Let's see if we can get a little bit of that push there coming in. And yeah, oh boy, that Palantir during lunchtime, that thing was pretty wild. What was the dude's name?
Peter Thiel.
Peter Thiel apparently comes out. I'm sitting short already, and I'm like, oh, there's a bit of a reserve here sitting in the halves, 34 halves, and I'm like, all right, well, let's put some risk on and really get involved. And you can see that I pieced off most of it on top of VWAP. But oh boy, that kind of push comes in, and then that news comes out right here. You can see that volume bar where Peter Thiel kind of comes out, or the news comes out, where he's saying something along the lines of, oh, he has about $1 billion worth to sell. Hasn't sold anything just yet, but he has a plan to sell by the end of 2025. And then boom, insta flush from 34.40s all the way down to 33.70s, clipping. Not really clipping, but coming near the low of day. The low of day is at 71. This drop stops dead in its tracks at 72. Chop, 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 chop. Look at that reversion all the way right back up. And now we're trading again at those 34.50. So I'm watching this tape right now to see if that reserve that was there at that 55, 56 level will return. The market has recovered as well. Look at that V-shaped recovery. Yes, Sean, it is at highs. You can see, again, I'm looking at a lot of these tech names. We were talking about AMD being relatively stronger than the rest of the chips here today, and AMD pushing some fresh highs, while some of these other tickers still have yet to reclaim some of their highs. Apple did push higher. Alphabet did recover. Last time we were on, we were talking about Alphabet kind of making some fresh lows. It is almost back to, well, it's pretty much almost back to its opening price, not necessarily near its high a day there. High a day wick at 151.25. 27. Amazon as well. Amazon, oh boy, that thing is trading all the way back up above its opening range high as well. Along with these markets, we were talking about that opening range, 100 points, 18,800s to 18,700s, and we broke the range lows. We picked up on top of 18.6, and we were ripped right back. So a lot of volatility, but haven't really gone anywhere too far here on the day. Where is the next trade is what I am asking as of right now. And I can't really see too much. But yeah, definitely some missed trades is what I'm seeing. The JPM reversion was absolutely beautiful here. Again, you can draw a moving average, draw a trend line, draw whatever. Kind of the trend breaks and times out as we start getting sideways on top of this 202. And then you get that nice little breakout of this consolidation for a reversion back up to 205s, which is VWAP as of right now. So let's see what that will bring us here on JPM. Can we get those sellers to step back in? Is it going to come in closer? Elf, Ian Rispetto is saying, yes, Elf is actually on my list for in-play names. And thank you for the super chat. Ian Rispetto saying, Elf is at its lowest close today since November 2023 at this level. What do you think of this as a long hold? Oh boy, I've been looking at this. So when I did my scans on this last night and it popped up and I was like, okay, higher time frame, this thing is eating dirt right now. This thing is falling on its face. Take a look at this higher time frame. This is the 30-minute. We can even, you know what, the 30-minute doesn't even do it justice. Let's go to a 3-hour and you can really see where this thing is starting to topple down from right here. So a nice little strong trend over the past few years. You can see, and yes, you are right, a little bit of a fade. We haven't really seen some of these levels since late 2023 for the past couple of years. We've been bidding up, and look at this breakdown, man. So this aggressive earnings bid breaking down kind of a toppy action here at the 220s and then straight flushing on a little bit of expanding volume as it makes lower highs and lower lows. And over the past couple of weeks, it's really been kind of falling apart here all the way from 170s just at the end of August. And we're about halfway through September here, and we're coming into 110s as of right now with the low at 108 on the day. So yeah, Elf Beauty definitely not looking very beautiful. This is an ugly chart for longs, but beauty is in the eye of the beholder. As a short, this thing looks absolutely beautiful. So
that's right, good one. Yeah, good way to flip that one around there for sure. We'll start a couple new positions right now. So it's a new position that we haven't had Microsoft in a long time. I basically just scanned through a bunch of charts, and I was trying to find names that were actually pulling back down, because I was looking at the futures and was like, if there's anything that's around the 50-period moving average, I kind of want to buy that, because the futures dip back into this 18.8. I kind of like that trade. I know we're short the futures now and we're short Microsoft, but I didn't find anything. So then I was like, let's try to play something maybe that we can reflect this sort of top. So we are short the futures right now. In case we do make a way back into the 50-period, then we'll try to get out and flip over to the long. But for right now, I picked that, and then I went and found Microsoft, and this was a name that was still under VWAP. There's almost no other names that are underneath. So I said, let's try it against 413. Little small position here. We're short at 412.35. It's been in and out of the money or flat anyways. It's just been doing nothing here. Spread kind of what it is, 10 cents. We'll give this up to 413. If it breaks higher, then it breaks higher. We're back into the future short just a little bit right now. There was some news. We're trading light, by the way. Some people ask us this question, and we talk about some of us will trade different share sizes and things like that. And the important idea here is that I feel like right now, no matter what your default is, unless you get a really good setup somewhere, and I'm going to try to find them as much as I can, then it's not really worth putting on something huge right now at 230, unless it's going to be a long, and we'll talk about how that's going to set up. All right, so just quickly here. Boeing, I don't know, there was just a headline here. United Airlines CEO says Boeing has turned the corner. Okay. That's good. Yeah, so right into there.
So it's still on the ground is what they mean.
Yeah, like I don't know if it's like driving around a corner or something right now, or what's going on. Is it's on the tarmac? I'm not sure what.
Still on the tarmac. We haven't lifted off just yet.
But there's no lift off yet, but it was a nice little lift off from this 158 area, and that was the bottom. So now that we're getting some more positive talk here from Boeing, I wonder if you can just go long, almost not right now, but like soon, and give it to this dollar, down breaking through 158. I mean, it's almost, we don't trade airlines here. Yeah, just go long SMCI, says random oddities. You might be right there on that one instead of trying to fight the market here. First of all, here come the TQQs a little bit downside. So I don't know. We don't trade it. This is not an airline, but we don't trade this too much here. But Boeing at 158, we should have had another look down there. I don't know. I don't have any scanners that would have triggered this, but that bottom of 158, look how good that was. So obviously we got to respect it if it comes back in there. And I'm almost thinking to buy anywhere near here, 158.50, 158.60. This 200 period looks to be a decent trade coming through. All right, TQs just went down like 7 or 8 pennies for us. We'll put a bid in case it happens again. We want to get a lot lower. But I think Boeing could be a trade here, Obi, trying to break a little bit higher, especially if we take that view up. And what about a 160 break to get back to where we were today at the top? So we'll find out more about that with Boeing and the United Airlines CEO. We could see if UAL is doing anything. I know there was talks with UAL and Boeing. So yeah, okay. So it's continuing to climb a little bit higher there for United Air. All right, Microsoft not doing anything. We want some more shares. Ooh, almost close to now. At 75, we're waiting for a few more. And then that will be the end of that. We'll see if the futures want to turn around a little bit here. We just missed our 75 fill there on Microsoft.
Yeah.
All right.
This part of the show is brought to you by Moomoo. Moomoo is shaking up the investing game with its cash sweep program, offering an incredible 8.1% APY on uninvested cash, far surpassing typical stock returns. This all-in-one app, backed by NASDAQ and the SEC, ensures your funds are safe, with FDIC insurance up to $500,000. Your cash earns interest 24/7, and you can access it anytime to reinvest when the market turns. Plus, sign up now to snag 15 free stocks and bonuses up to $2,300 in Canada. Don't let your money sit idle. Make it work for you.
All right, we're making it work for us. Thank you so much there, Adara, for that read right there. Microsoft, I mean, we get to 75, Phil. We talked about that. We just get out at 50s, so well worth it here for Softy as we're pulling back in right now on Microsoft. We're just 20 cents in the money, but we did take some out. I mean, the risk here is 30 cents, plus a little bit of slippage if we break above 213. So, you know, I'd like to get some more out. We're waiting in the 30s now. If we do to give a little bit more of a push back in, we'll do that for Sir Softy. And look, I mean, I really hope the market falls. I really do. But we got to get some out. Like, we just got a 37 or 38 fill off of a 54. So I consider like it pretty lucky. All we were trying to do was get to the 50-period moving average, but that didn't come quick enough. Like, now it's almost right here, right now. So you could see if we can get something out at 30 right now on the TQQs, we should do that. So I'm going to put another bid. If we can get something out, that would be great. Microsoft trying to go. This is going to be a good stock for us, but needs to get a little bit lower. Like I said, a bidding in the 30s for Softy. Maybe we'll cross up a little bit there, see about getting something out. All right, we'll cancel that now. We get that 48 fill. Now let's bring it back in. This 50-period moving average on Microsoft would be a decent spot to get out. But yeah, that's why we were bidding there. Again, we were bidding 32s. That's where it is, 32. So let's bid like a 35 and get another piece out. We're just trying to sit here and get some fills as it goes. And then hopefully, I'm still bidding O's, so 412 flat. Maybe we get a little bit of a whoosh action right there. We're able to put a little bit more in our pocket on a downside push. So no, we need to moon. Yeah, what's up, Ozan? Here we go. This is for you, Ozan, right there. It doesn't matter which way you are. And I think Obi mentioned that you can be long or short. You just need to play the right stocks at the right time and make money that way. So, all right, so we're trading the TQs and Microsoft short. But if we break those highs, let's completely flip it over and decide to go long. Because, again, I'm a little bit nervous about the market, up 0.7 here. 18.9, we're still kind of in no man's land. We'll do a little bit of a deeper dive into the futures when we get back. But, all right, Obi. What's on your mind?
Yeah, no, I was just reading the chat here. Somebody pointing out FBLG. So now, I guess this is a bit of a mid to small cap, 143 mil on the market cap. Normally does only about 450,000 average volume in the past 30 days, but today doing about 4.6 million shares. I couldn't really find anything too crazy on it in terms of headlines right away on this FBLG, but it seems like it has been bidding up. There could be some sort of some buzz on this one here. But yeah, nice little push on the day. Strong relative volume as well. Again, we talk about it doing only about 450,000 shares a day, and today it's pushing about 4.6, trending to the upside. 427 is the high of day as of right now. What is this line right here? Okay, interesting. But yeah, no, it's holding that $4 level, bidding up all day. So interesting stuff. Have you guys been trading this ticker at all? I'm curious to know. I know that somebody did mention it in the chat. I just missed the name, and there it is, DC4L, asking what is up with FBLG. I don't know, but there's definitely something up, and price action seems to be one of those things here on the day. FBLG continuing to trend up. But yeah, you know what? Let's take a quick look at what else has been moving here. So I'm just gonna go to volume gainers on the day and see. Let's just run through some of these names to see what else has been moving. Are we missing out on anything? Again, I think it's important, even in the middle of the day, to run a couple scans. Sure, you have your list of names that you're potentially looking at, but you're not gonna have eyes on everything. So in the middle of the day, I'm gonna ask you guys this in the chat. How many times do you guys run scans in the middle of the day? Do you have preset scans for midday, for end of day, volume scanners, maybe relative volume scanners as well, maybe other indicators to kind of pop up at random times, being like, oh, this may be part of your setup, might be part of your playbook. You might want to take a look at some of these. So I'm just going through these, just clicking through them. Again, not really too concerned about what the ticker is, more concerned about, is there a setup that I can potentially see which aligns to my kind of style here. SoFi, a little bit of an interesting push here. Nothing too crazy. It's doing about average volume, but the relative volume is about 2 times as much right now. Ford, again, we saw that this name was on the downgrades this morning, and a strong flush right off of the open there. Sean saying you got out of Microsoft, or you're in Microsoft?
I'm saying see you later, Mike.
See you later, Microsoft. Okay,
hopefully it comes down in, man. Nah, it's a good trade, man. I mean, it just went 50 cents in the money, but we didn't get filled. We were bidding 412.05. It comes down to 412.08 right there and stops. So that's okay. We just went to 17 and got filled right there, or 18s, and got filled there on Softy. So good little out there as it pulls back in. So right there, I mean, there's 75. There's out at 17s. 25, 17s, 58 cents right there as we cook up some math. All right. So that was a good trade there. The math blows up in our face potentially. All right, just back to here. Yeah, we'll buy some 44s again. I mean, I don't know. The TQs is really starting to get me right now. Oops. SMR, Larry Ellison, talking a little bit about SMR. Larry Ellison, isn't that Oracle? Is that?
What's Oracle up?
Oh, a Barron's article is what it was talking about, nuclear power. So we can have a look here on SMR. There it is. There's a nice little gap up there. So from 767 all the way to 785 and starting to go right now. You know, I mean, we might be early on this story. I'm not even sure what this story is, to be honest with you. I'm going to buy some right now. All right, so I'm just going to play this gap to 775. If we gap lower below that, we'll get out. Small amount of shares here, but let's just try it. Don't really... Oh, it is Ellison. Okay. Talking about how there's this is just a play for nuclear power. More countries will battle out for the supremacy. Blah blah blah. All right, Adair can talk about this if it comes through. This is just a very small position, a couple million shares, and then we'll just see what winds up happening. Breaking through 793, 794. We'll wait to see if it comes back in. It looks like it's trying to. I mean, we might have just punched the top there. Quick little play on a story. There, TQ's not doing much. Microsoft's still doing this. We'll wait on SMR to get going. Just a little bit of a look here. If it does get going against small modular reactors, 929. Obviously, that would be really nice, Phil, to come through. What have we done on the 20-minute chart? 805. I mean, we don't have enough shares to worry about that. Maybe we come into here 830, 840. Something like that would be a good little spot for us to get something out. If this name pops, hey, let's go 825. All right, let me just put an order up there. I mean, if it goes, it goes. If it doesn't, we are well positioned to get out for 20 cents. So we'll play this SMR with a little bit of news here. There it is right here on our Benzinga platform right here. Oracles, so we were right. Larry Ellison sees a $100 billion AI boom powered by nuclear energy. So there it goes now. New scale power starting to go back up to the upside. So we'll take that. There it is. Let's break through 8 and see if we can get going. I mean, there it is. 8, 802, 803, 804. Trying to go higher and higher and higher right now as SMR is a nice move to the upside right now. So anything you want to go? We do have our guest of the day coming through very, very soon. So we'll just wait 1 second. Is there anything that you're in you want to talk about?
Well, I got a little short here on Palantir, but we'll see if it works out. I'm keeping it pretty tight. Yeah.
All right.
Nothing too crazy.
All right, then let's bring it in. It's Justin Zacks from Moo. Hey, Justin, how are you doing?
How are you guys doing?
Not too bad. We just got a little bit of story there about nuclear power. Is that something that you guys are looking at or you've done any research in and any names in this space? We're right now with SMR, Larry Ellison talking about a $100 billion boom coming to the space.
Yeah, there's a lot of ways to play that. There's those outright companies. There's also these, uranium funds that, are very interesting. Uranium is not traded like a normal commodity. It's like privately negotiated contracts. So it's very interesting, and it seems to be somewhat scarce. What I'd be looking at with this uranium play is tonight's debate. So the presidential debate, and each candidate seems to have a different view on energy. Trump is more traditional energy. I'll be looking at the traditional energy, and then Harris will be more on the alternative energy. And so depending on how the debate goes and who everyone assumes the winner is, et cetera, you might see some movement either way in both of those sectors.
Yeah, we just come over to the screen right now. We just quickly went in and out of that, Justin. We got some long there at 90s and a little bit out there at 810 as we start to go on. But a good look there, talking, of course, about the election tonight. And I guess you'll be watching that. Is that something that obviously you just talked about some of the different sectors that's coming through there? That debate starts at 9 o'clock. Is that too late or what? Because we had talked about that. We try to get our beauty sleep around here. 9 o'clock probably till about 11 o'clock. I guess it's all about energy, maybe some immigration. Is there anything else other than energy that you might be looking at tonight for some keywords or anything like that that the two candidates might be throwing around?
Harris, obviously, you're going to look at if she says anything more about, a possible equity giveaway for housing that could influence the home builders. Overall, though, for the entire market, everyone's going to be looking at the tax cuts, capital gains rates, how each candidate expects to pay for, whatever programs they have, tariffs on the Trump side. So those are the main things I would be looking at in the debate. And they say money never sleeps. So, you can trade 24 hours, a day on these platforms nowadays. So it's something that, everyone will be watching for. Interesting market we're seeing here today. So it seems like there was a little bit of push and pull early on. We saw these great, blowout earnings from Oracle, but then we saw this, EU decision, fine on Apple and Google. And then we saw some really poor comments out of a lot of the banking conference going on right now, and that really influenced a lot of the bank stocks. But it looks like, I'm looking at, I show you my screen here, I'm looking at, JP Morgan is the stock that everyone's looking at today, and it looks like it's trying to make a comeback.
I was thinking about actually dip buying some of that and averaging into the long-term account because, I like to hold the names that are sort of top of class, and I think JP Morgan on negative comments there, maybe a buy to that downside. You know what else I was thinking about, Justin, that could be a rally? And if we come over here and look at IBIT today, what about crypto? Donald Trump, as he was at that cryptocurrency convention there in Miami, where he spoke kindly. We know RFK, both these guys apparently are bullish on the crypto space. We see a name like IBIT to the upside. We see a name like Mara to the upside. I just wonder today if Donald turns over to Kamala and asks for some opinion on crypto, because I just think that could be a way for him to garner a little bit more votes. You never know. It should be a tight race, right? If you can swing people, especially some of these hodlers, maybe crypto gets going. It's been a huge day for Mara, up 8%. Do you see any play there, or am I just sort of picking at straws here?
I think it may be a little thin. I know Trump did speak at the Bitcoin conference, but what I would look for is if there's any, I'm actually on the other side. So if Kamala Harris indicates at all that she is comfortable or, pro crypto, that could be a really big boost, because that would be big news. Everyone kind of knows Trump's pretty on board with crypto. I wouldn't expect it to come up, as a major factor in the debate, though.
All right. All right. So we'll double check. Yeah, I don't think it'll be. I think you might just brush it off, and we'll see what happens there. Hey, I've got my favorite hat here, and I don't know if you can see what this is, but this says that we are a Palantir investor. Palantir. I mean, what a name! If there's any charts you want to show for that, it was our trade of the day yesterday, taking out 52-week highs. I mean, what an event, right? A stock being added to the S&P 500, definitely a catalyst for some upside moves. But I have it on my screen here as well. Today, Palantir had a tough time, right? We're flat on the day despite the market being up 0.74. Any thoughts initially on Palantir? What a great trade it's been over the last month or so.
Yeah, so, you have to be careful with these three stocks, Dell, Palantir, and Erie.
Okay.
They announced that they're going into the S&P 500. That won't happen until the beginning of trading on the 23rd. And when that announcement happened, all the ARBs rushed in to put this trade on ahead of time. So a lot of the upside's already been taken out. So you might see these names trade sideways for a while and maybe not participate as much because so many people are long waiting for them to go into the index. So I would be super careful around those three names until, once they're in the index, it's a different story. You can kind of go back to the fundamentals and the technicals. But for now, when they're going into the index, these moves can be very sporadic and could be lots of volatility, particularly on the day before on that 22nd.
Yeah, exactly. 23rd going in there. So good call on that one. I think you're right. I mean, we hit it yesterday because it was such a great opportunity there coming off of that inclusion back on a Monday, right? So get the first chance. And then today it's going the opposite way. So, all right, okay, just really quickly. Here we go. We're getting a little bit of a flush down now, Justin, as the futures, although in our business here as day traders, a 15-cent move means something. I know maybe to a lot of people it doesn't, but here come the TQQs finally starting to push down a little bit. We were sort of selling these tops, just thinking that, hey, maybe the market's a little overextended up here, 0.67. Any thoughts, Justin, over there at Moomoo? And I want to thank Justin Zacks again for coming through at Moomoo, of course, the VP of Strategy. Make sure you hit that QR code on your screen immediately to find out more about Moomoo. But what about Apple? I mean, I like the stock. I think it's almost a defensive name, right? I mean, all the cash that it has on hand, it is an AI play. It's a wearables play. It's a service play. There's lots included with Apple. Do you like the name here, or do you think maybe some steam comes off now that we're past the Glow event?
So, we saw a 13 billion euro fine. That's, even for Apple, that's pretty significant. So They will take a minor hit there. I think they wrote off something like 10 billion euro or something like that. The stock is trading pretty rich given its growth trajectory compared to some of the other Magnificent Seven. But all it's done is perform well. So, it's one of those stocks that's kind of hard to trade right now. But it was interesting that it did brush off that EU fine and kind of did pretty well today. And on the overall market, you said you looked at a little bit of a sell-off. I think people are really positioning ahead of tomorrow's CPI.
Right.
And we saw this big sell-off last week, and it looks like yesterday and today we've seen a little bit of that short covering going into the CPI number. And what I think is, I think it could definitely be a market moving number. And if you do see that CPI come in a little bit cooler, we could see a continued short covering on this idea of, a possible 50 basis point rate cut. And on the other side, if we see a hot inflation number,
Right.
it's going to be, look out to the downside because you're looking at a stagflation scenario.
Yeah, I really think that there could be a melt to the downside if that does come through. Part of the reason why we're a little short right now, I just feel like, do you feel sometimes trades are overcrowded a little bit? I don't know how many times I heard about it, probably from yourself and from many of the guests, and definitely from us on the desk here, that September is historically the worst month in the market. How much of that do you feel is like a self-fulfilling prophecy? I don't know. I feel like right now we're through earnings season. There's been a lot of top-heavy stocks coming out of the summer. Do you feel like September is gonna end here? We're almost halfway through the month. Any opinions on where we go from here to the end of the month, regardless of the CPI number?
Yeah, we did see a little bit of that sell-off, and I think all eyes are really going to be on economic data and how the economy is doing. And this is why we were kind of a little spooked in mid-session here because we saw this triumvirate out of the banks. It was the net interest margins on the banks itself aren't going to be as good. Saw several comments about that. You saw a lot of comments about the consumers, higher credit card debts, auto loans, all these types of things. And then you also saw the companies, the banks themselves take this, kind of this big hit that kind of drove everything lower. So this was, all about the economy, but we've kind of brushed it off. So that tells me, maybe we've, some people are saying this is kind of a buy that they're waiting for the good news. So I think when we hit that good piece of news data, we're going to be, off to the upside. But ultimately, it's really going to depend upon the Fed next week and the economic data, because you're right, the earnings season is relatively slow until you get into early October. So it's really going to be all focused around this economy. So, watch the oil price, watch the Fed meeting here. I'm curious to see what they do. And it could be very interesting if they do cut 50 basis points and how the market interprets it as something, the idea that they're catching up or the idea that they're panicking. And I think you could have both reactions could be possible.
Yeah, I mean, in this market, we actually talked about the volatility, and I think you're right about even names like Palantir. Let things settle down. Let the volatility come in and play what you see instead of trying to make any guesses. You know what's reporting tonight? GameStop. Justin, we have a note that maybe we could discuss a little bit about this with you. Over at Moomoo, are you guys seeing a lot of inflow at all through the option market? Because we just had a nice little flush. You come over to the screen right now on GameStop, down 4%, a little bit of a flush right now coming into options, coming into earnings tonight, now bouncing off the 50-period moving average. I mean, net of anybody tweeting something out or tweeting out pictures of cats or lying in his chair all beat up and things like that, wrapped around calling ambulances and things like that. Is there any reason for us to be trading GameStop here? You excited about it? What are you guys seeing in the options market here for GME tonight?
I think this is generally a tough stock to trade. You're really trading a lot on sentiment here. The company's again expected to report negative earnings. It's reported negative earnings for quite a while and is expected to do so. So, they're really looking for some type of catalyst, and maybe they do announce something interesting that they're going to do with some of the cash they're sitting on, some type of corporate engineering. But the options market is pricing in about a 13% move. So this stock is always, of interest from traders, and it's moved about an average of about 11%. And it is one of those stocks that's, set up for that short squeeze if there is some good news. But, if you look at the most recent reports, they've consistently haven't really blown the doors off of it. And everyone's kind of got excited beforehand. And then it's sell the news. So very hard stock to trade, I would say.
Yeah, agreed 100%. I mean, we talked about it. There's only $1 billion cash on hand right now. And if they keep burning through that, is there going to be another offering to get that all settled out? And then we never know. You got to look out below on that one. One last name, Justin, again, Justin Zach's coming from Moomoo, the VP of Strategy. I want to thank you for coming on board one more time. We talked about implied moves, right? The implied move on Oracle was about 7.5% or so. Today we get a monster move, over 11%. I think it was near 12 or 13 at its highs, pulling back a little bit right now. But I'm going to ask you something because we've had Danielle Shea on as well that looks at options a lot. And she had mentioned to us, when you get an outsized move is really when we have to start looking at the stock, especially as day traders. What's your opinion on that? Like you just mentioned, GameStop 11 to 13%. So if GameStop moves 20%, we could probably expect a continuation of a move in the same direction. Is there anything from your studies that have sort of stated that when you get an outsized move, long, continue the long push maybe for the next couple of days? Anything in your studies showing that?
Yeah, sometimes you do see. I mean, if it's really good news, you have day traders like the people that follow you are able to get in with a relatively small size very quickly. But the people that are the institutions that are making major moves, and if it's a major shift, these could be multi-day moves. We saw that when a few quarters ago when Nvidia blew the doors off of it. Right, you saw a really outsized move, and that move continued for quite a long time because you had a shift of people that were not owning that stock that had to own that stock from the institutional side. So you will see that, and usually you see the vols come, the price of the options come in, so it could be lucrative from an options trade. Obviously they're not as expensive once the earnings are out, even though that upside move may continue.
Justin, Zachs, anything maybe we didn't cover that you want to touch on, because it's been a great time. We're approaching power hour, 3 o'clock, so we'll wrap it up. Is there anything else you want to talk about? CPI tomorrow, we touched on that a little bit. I think that should be exciting. Anything we left uncovered?
Yeah, just for the rest of the week, look for, PPI won't be as important, but you have jobless claims, you have an ECB rate decision. That'll be an interesting precursor to the Fed. That's on Thursday. And then you have Michigan sentiment, consumer sentiment on Friday. Those are the three things I'll be looking for going into the economic numbers for the rest of the week.
Man, it's a flurry of economic numbers, and hopefully it doesn't too much flurries around here yet. It's getting a little cold here in Toronto, but we'll hold out on better weather. Thank you, Justin, so much. I want to make sure that everybody scans those QR codes below from Moo. Thank you, Justin Zachs, VP of Strategy. Always great, and thank you for pointing out some of those numbers coming up.
Thanks. Good luck trading.
Ciao. There we go. Justin, thank you so much for that one. Again, super smart dude, man, talking about all those different names. And what I really like is the longer outlook there, because sometimes I get a little caught up in thinking like, oh, I'm going to go short this name. And then all of a sudden it's, oh my God, tomorrow's CPI. So if there are whisper numbers of it being a cooler number, maybe you want to go long. What's so funny? You either want to go long or you may want to go short if it's a hotter number, so on and so forth. So thanks, Justin, for coming through on that one. Not too many stories hitting while he was on there. We're still in that SMR. That was a good one. Again, Justin talked about that, and I didn't even think about it again. Possibly talked about tonight. Energy going to be in play. So there's SMR with a nice move up there off Larry Ellison comments. Microsoft, oh boy, we got a nice little move down on that name as well. Look where that went while we were talking to Justin. Unfortunately, we missed it, but it went down nicely there. So we'll put another bid down sub 412 if we can get that one going. But so far, so good, holding these shorts into the hour of power. Obi, nice. What do you got on board? Ooh, you're liking the shorts as well.
I'm liking the shorts, but these shorts might be a little too short right now as they are revealing price action. No, I'm joking. Sorry, what? I thought you
like shorts. So you said these shorts might be too short.
I do.
You got a pair on right now? No.
Well, let's leave it up to their imagination. How about that?
Okay.
VWAP coming in here on JPM. Nice little bid up over the past couple of hours there, and bid for me, in my opinion, was doing a little bit of dissipation. So I'm like, all right, well, I'll try to ease into this. Into this short here as it potentially comes back into VWAP, and VWAP it's there at right now 205.30s right here. So 205.30s coming right into VWAP, but a little bit of a spready, or it was spready. Now the spread's really closing in. So it was about 15 to 20 pennies. Now it's coming into 5 to 2 pennies right here as it comes into VWAP. So interesting look there. Palantir as well, kind of attempting to push that 34.60s. We talk about something kind of potentially being there, 34.50s before that quadunk that we had earlier on today. And yeah, the market is at its highs there, but taking a little bit of a slowdown on the bid that we've been having since 12 o'clock there. So you can see we've been kind of chopping sideways going into power hour as of right now. So I'm just curious to know whether or not we take a little bit of a breather on some of these names that have also been bidding up, being Palantir and JPM. What's up, Adara?
This part of the show is brought to you by Firefly Neuroscience. Firefly Neuroscience is revolutionizing brain health. Our groundbreaking brain network analytics technology is transforming care for patients with depression, dementia, anxiety, concussions, and ADHD. With 15 years of research and a wealth of brainwave data, we're set to illuminate the future of diagnostics and treatment. Pharmaceutical companies and medical practitioners, get ready. FDA 510K cleared BNA technology is here to supercharge your clinical trials and enhance patient care. Join us at Firefly Neuroscience, traded on NASDAQ as AIFF, and be part of the next big leap in neuroscience. Ignite hope, one brain at a time.
Thank you.
Brent crude and diesel futures are at 2021 lows. Is that right? Right now is USO. We actually sort of talked about that a little bit. I was just joking about like being
the
cheaper.
Cheap gas?
I wasn't joking. I need to fill up the tank soon. Anyways, but at the end of the day, Yeah, we're not quite near 2021 lows here. But we could be on the future. This is USO. We'll have to check out the futures contract to see what we're at right now. Of course, this does not mimic the price of oil exactly. So down to $66. No matter what, we are at beginning of the year support here for oil. Again, supply, oversupply, right? Oversupply right now. And we talked about that. The number's going to come out tomorrow at 10:30 for oil supply. We'll find out more about that one. But right now, nice downside pressure here to USO. So, wow, a good move there. We talked about ExxonMobil getting a little bit cheaper. You never want to chase yield, but this name is gotten hit, man. This was just at 120. It found a top, and now it's down 8% from that into 110, 111 goes ExxonMobil. That could possibly be bought up again. And then I know you're already in this name, but I think we like JP Morgan as well, down 5%. If you think the market's going to fade out a little bit here, JP Morgan just broke back below. And I mean, it's your trade. I'll let you talk about, obviously. But this 206, good little top there to watch out for on JP Morgan. Starbucks really battled back on the consumer side of things. They battled back and took out $92 today. What a good move for Starbucks. I mean, we could zoom back out a little bit here. There's 92. It bounced around it a little bit, right? It was the high, then it faded back out, then it broke through. So I thought Starbucks had better days and had seen its highs. That little bounce again off this support seems to want to hold $90 to $92, a take higher right now. If we can hold this level, look for a potential long breakout on Starbucks back to $98. I mean, why not do that? There's nothing in its way stopping this move from coming through. And on the 18th, which is a week tomorrow, we are getting a rate cut. All right? As long as it's 1/4 point, I feel pretty good about that. And I think the market rallies on that. I mean, I really do. So I'm gonna hold out the fact that there is a good chance that some of these names get back up to the upside there heading into the rate cut, and then we'll just trade it off of that, and we'll see what happens. I'm not sure the 18th is necessarily going to be a good day, but I just think that cycle starting all over again. I've been sitting here for too many years, 20x, and it's just like this is the change now. So we were in a rate hike cycle, and now it's the other way around. It's a rate cutting cycle, and that's been really bullish for stocks. Obviously, as days come in, and we just talked about that with Justin. Very hard to trade individual names off of singular events like Dell, like Palantir, like Erie, all getting added and removed there from different indexes. Those can be tough. But I think when the story is cuts, I feel pretty good about tech names and being able to sort of rotate into those as they continue to flush a little bit lower here. Maybe I'm just being stubborn with that. But I like tech here. It's funny because we're both short right now. Yep. But that's kind of the talk, and I think that can hold true for a minute. All right, 75 cents now in the money. You know what? Why not just take a piece out right here if we can get it? There we go. We cross up, take some 11s out right there, spin it. Money. All right, that's 65 cents we just took there on Microsoft. We're short 75s. We take that fill. We were waiting a little lower in there. I'd hate for it to bounce off 412 and we miss it. So I canceled my 80s. I bid 11s. I actually punched out, removed liquidity, grabbed it right there and took it out. So there's the out right there on Softy. We only have a small piece left. I will reload it one more time up here if it does come through. But that's a good trade for me there on Softy. And we'll just wait to see if it can get a little bit better. Time to short Mara, I'm not sure. But SMR, I wanted to get out. Okay, now let's go here. Let's go now to 85s. We'll make sure we put something in our pocket for sure. We were going to get out anyways at 75. So right there, we get long at 90s, we get out at 10s. So right there, that's 20 cents. So we protect it, we go 1 for 1. This way, now if we get out on the 50 period, it is still a win, but obviously a relatively uneventful one. All right, you know what? Let's just go to 779. So we have a key here where we can go hands off. The minute this will trigger on our time and sales, we will be able to be punched out of this trade. So that way me and Obi can be having a very enlightened discussion. And if a trade comes through, it'll automatically be punched out. So I don't need to be focused on the level 2. So I will push enter and sit back and relax with SMR and just hopefully Microsoft will break that 412. Are you still short everything?
Yeah, I am. I do have my stops in here on these tickers, but yeah, let's see what that pullback kind of brings if we do get a pullback. As I say that, There goes Palantir with a little bit of an aggressive bid, pushing right back up into 34.60s. But yeah, it might get stopped out of that one there. The market's holding above this 18.8 as of right now, even though it kind of chops a little bit sideways. We're going to have that on watch. Interestingly enough, Sean, that 5,500 on the ES still hasn't broken through. That is still holding up as a bit of resistance, as we had that strong bid during the midday session that kind of bid all the way back up. We retraced to some of these opening prices right at that 5,500. And you can see the NQ has already broken up above its opening range highs. The ES not so much, so a little distinctly different action. Now again, that disconnect we already kind of observed in the morning session, and we're getting a little bit more of the same coming into the closing session right now. So yeah, let us know what you guys are trading. We can take a look at those too. I'm kind of watching just JPM and Palantir right now. Also got eyes on some of the other tickers we've been moving around earlier today, which would be Amazon. Eyes on Nvidia as well. Nvidia a little bit sideways. Nothing too crazy on that one there just yet. And again, yeah, Nvidia's been kind of an interesting ticker over the past few days, but a chip name that is doing things distinctly different today is AMD. Take a look at AMD, guys. AMD here. Let me pull it up here. It looks like I might get stopped out of this one here on Palantir. If let's see, I just got to make sure. Okay, yeah, that's cool. AMD right here. Look at that. Look at that bid, Sean. So aggressive bid through that day high, 140 push. We're trading at 142 and some change right now. So that is quite the run up, looking distinctly different from the rest of the chips. Let's run through them real quick. Look at Nvidia. Nvidia nowhere near its high a day. Let's take a look at Intel. We know we just talked about Intel for a couple of seconds there. Intel nowhere near its high a day. Now, I guess if we look at SMH looking a little bit closer to that of Nvidia here. So I did get stopped out of that Palantir. That's perfectly fine. Where's the next trade is what I am asking as of right now. So Palantir decides it wants to continue to bid up going into the close today. That's fine. You can do more of the same. I already got kind of what I was looking for. I do have to do a little bit better with this, with some of these executions here. A little sloppy in my opinion, but we're getting the hang of how this thing kind of moves around. So going to continue kind of watching it. Again, day 2 catalyst of Palantir getting added to the S&P 500. That news coming out on Friday, and the first day it traded in the open market was yesterday. So going to keep eyes on that one there. Now, another name I have on watch is TSM. TSM, very strong and aggressive flush right off of the open there, quadunking all the way from 163s to 158s, and a slow and methodic grind right back up, printing 162s, just shy of 162s. 161.97 is this high of this trend here, not the day high. That's sitting at 163.12. So it's still about just over a point to get back to those levels if TSM is going to do any of that. But yeah, AMD looking distinctly different when it comes to chips here. Fluffy Hippo saying, Obi, get out of Palantir. Buddy, I'm already out. We broke these highs here. I got out, and I'm like, yeah, I don't want to be involved, because earlier there was a strong reserve that was happening the ask at 34 halves, and I was like, all right, maybe I can risk in that area as well for a potential pullback into VWAP. If it doesn't want to do it, it's fine. It's not doing it right now, and got stopped out above that 60 mark, so potentially poised to push higher here going into the end of the day. We saw the type of buying that came in on Palantir going into the end of the day yesterday. Let's see if we see more of the same today going into the close. So going to be watching that one there as well. JPM, kind of a chop here on top of VWAP, so nothing too crazy going on. I'm thinking, well, I was looking for a pullback in for that selling to come back in, but if we're going to reclaim and hold VWAP, that's perfectly fine as well. More than willing to be wrong on this one. Looking for the next trade. So do you guys know what the next trade is? Because I have no idea as of right now, but I'm looking around. I hear the siren. What is the siren for?
The siren is for a 70-cent winner on Microsoft. We just reloaded it. So it's we reloaded it at 60s there. We actually took it at 40 there on the 50-period moving average. It just went back and bounced off 412 again. Like, I thought this was going to make the move to the downside again and break this level. So we're just scalping it. I mean, Microsoft, this is like almost, you know, like it's been scalpable. I really want to get out of it right here, to be honest with you, Obi. But then I look at it and I say, you know, is it worth holding? And I think it is, right? I mean, we're underneath VWAP. We do have a chance to get back in right there. So I don't necessarily want to be like just holding it for the sake of holding it. But I do think that if we do have a move to the downside, Microsoft is definitely more aggressive. Like, I'm shorting here the futures. We've gotten in and out of there. We just shorted some more at 60s and then got some more out right here at 50. So you can see our average price right now on the TQs is 58s. So right here, much more aggressive the actual market is than Microsoft. So I don't know why Microsoft continues to make moves downside. Like, look at this, it's not even popping, although the futures just kind of went there. Let's see if we can get some more fills on the down low for the futures right now. That would be the first step, and then hopefully that can come in, and then if it does, then we will sing its praises, but for now it's not. Microsoft target there, 411.80 would be nice. All right, I know you just went through that there. Sirius just went through a merger, Sirius Satellite Radio, is that what happened there? Oh. What was the news on Siri again? Because Siri, this is not the Siri price. It was $3. So I don't know if this thing just reverse split 10 to 1, maybe, on Sirius.
SIRI?
Yeah, SIRI.
Yeah, split today.
Split today, yeah, 10 to 1 maybe?
10 to 1.
Yeah, okay, so there it goes. So Sirius Satellite Radio split 10 to 1 today, up 4.68%. Remember, this was a name that Warren Buffett was in. People are saying a merger there for Sirius. We'll find out more about it. Adair, I think, is probably looking into it right now. Sirius Satellite Radio. We'll find out more about it. Our charts will not be good for that one, but definitely a mover there. Sirius up to $25, moving around quite seriously. All right, 48s, 49s. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Hopefully we get a fill coming out here for a nice move back in for the TQQs. As there it goes. Nice little move to the downside there. Is that a tea or a coffee?
It is a coffee.
It's a coffee, okay. I was debating getting a tea. Nice move down there for that. Oh, Shopify. So good for you, TQs. Let's see if it wants to hold that. We're still in 80% of that position, waiting for more on that because we just keep on reloading it. There's another name that's negative today, down 0.94. If you do want to play the short, I always think it's better to short weaker names, which is why Microsoft is a little puzzling to me because it's actually up today. But Shopify right here, nice downside move, playing off $67, looking to break through the 50-period moving average of 66.75. We're not too far away from that, under the 50, under VWAP, and right now under the 200. I think Shopify can break this little shelf right here and get a lot lower. So that's a name to look at if you are short. Shopify's had its moments, man, and now it's just been selling off pretty good, right back into the 50-period moving average. What a rebound off that August 5th date. $50 all the way to 75 puts up 50% retracement from that low. So that might be something there. 50% up and then another 25% back down into 66. So we'll see if that can hold the 50 period right now. I like the short there on Shopify if we can get it. There's Microsoft. I just want to make sure my math was right. Yeah, Microsoft is much stronger than the market. So this is a little puzzling, but it's been a great short. We haven't lost on this one yet. And I think there's some more downside coming here for Microsoft.
Yeah, we're getting a little bit of a pullback here on the market, but again, trading near its highs. Palantir pushes up past those highs and then pulls right back in. Not really going too much. Moving a little sketch around here on this breakout. So I'm gonna just pack my patience on that one. Let that price action kind of work itself out. And JPM coming into that 205. What's up, Adara?
On Sirius, pretty interesting here. They did undergo a 1-for-10 reverse split as part of its split here from Liberty Media. So spinning off of Liberty Media here as its own company. It also reaffirmed its guidance here, and they also did confirm their quarterly dividend and announce a $1.16 billion stock buyback program. So buyback program, spin-off, 1-for-10 reverse split, and also here reaffirming their guidance. Good look for SIRI. Could not find a chart that was not split adjusted here. So interesting look here for SIRI, guys.
There's those Oh man, I was gonna say those are some serious headlines, but yeah, some nice talk there. Thanks to Darius. So merger there, split off from Liberty. And again, I like the buyback. I mean, whenever you're hearing companies with some buyback, that gives you a little bit more support there. Give me a break. For me. Oh, I thought we were. I thought.
Come on.
Where's my little note? I have like a love letter from Ramin here. I don't know. Now it's gone. Neil probably threw it in the garbage there. I'll find it.
All right.
Okay. Anyways, we'll have lots of fun on this show. We're still waiting for 412 to break. Nice looking chart on Carvana, says Rivian Millionaire. Okay. I don't know if you can buy Rivians in these vending machines yet, but Carvana right now, nice upside move. Still down that 3%, but yeah, definitely getting going. I mean, we talked about IWM. We talked about some of these names that will benefit from lower interest rates, right? And I think you might have nailed this one, Rivian Millionaire, and everybody else as we go. We just take another fill on the TQQs, gets them out there at 50s. All right, so just looking at this, nice little bottom made there at 125. It seems like it wanted to hold that. That looks like a good trade there for Carvana. Again, interest rates are all the thing, right? I mean, if you're trying to get a car note, you'd prefer lower rates. So that would make sense to me. And that this could be a play coming through. Let's just check out what the short float on Carvana is before we actually get in. We're still in these trades that we're in right now. CVNA. Okay, 15%. It's been a lot higher than that, man. This was one of the names that I thought was like in the 50s or 60s at one point. Well, I guess I can't double check it, but I think you guys would remember that name, Carvana, definitely getting blown out to the upside. Cash of 1 billion, market cap of 26. That's a little concerning, but still like the cash with a positive EPS. That's right. I think it was a couple quarters ago they finally turned positive there on the EPS. So nice little move upside there for Carvana year to date. Sometimes we have, where is it? Here it is, 150% banger so far since January 1st. And again, play the, you just want to play the rhetoric, right? Like you sort of watch the momentum, look at the 50-period moving average. It's really held it pretty good as some of these like lower float, not low float, but short float names get to the upside there. And then the rates, I think you can play this name. I mean, I would get out if we broke below like 120 in here. I think there's a good chance that this name gets busted up to the upside one more time. Again, Microsoft is still holding 412, man, but it's just right there. Let's see if 412, come on, 412. Let's see if we can break that one. Here's Microsoft right here. Oh, it just bounced again. Look at that level, Obi. I mean, you want to talk about just a hold. Just keeps on holding down there at 412. Let's see if we get a break lower. Futures are in trouble, though, as we continue to go higher.
Yeah, that JPM with a little bit of a shake and bake there. We dropped all the way down to 205s, which happens to be VWAP. Well, I have VWAP as 205.30s. We drop down to 205s, print a little bit of 205s, and then rip right back up into this range here, kind of this chop that we've been having over the past hour or so. Again, it's 3:20 right now, guys. So only about 30 minutes left until these imbalances come out. Palantir continues to push higher here. 34.70s incoming with a couple hundred lots there on the ask. So let's see if those get taken out. Again, very, very liquid ticker here today. 78, almost 77 million shares traded on the day here on Palantir. And yes, continues to kind of bid up going into the final I guess half hour or final hour of the trading day as of right now, printing even higher. So let's see what some of these prior highs are on Palantir to kind of identify where those tops were in the morning. Take a quick look here. So this high from before right here coming in at 78. So okay, so that's 78. So we're printing 71s right now. So only about 7 pennies away from there, measured from the ask there. So let's see if we can come into some of those prices and start pushing up. I was like, yeah, if we can push some of these wicks, even that morning wick, 35.20 is the high a day there, and we're not too far away from that price either. If we continue to bid up in the next half hour, oh boy, is that going to be a little messy for those for the intraday shorts that might have piled into this name here. I did like the short very much underneath this 34.5. But if we're trading above some of these highs, I kind of want to definitely leave it alone, especially with the market being at its highs here, trading above 18.8 on the NASDAQ and trading now, attempting to push up above that 5,500 that we've been kind of holding below for pretty much the whole day. Opening prices trading aggressively lower after printing some of that 55 200 there on the ES. So JPM also pushing that little wick of that 205 was a little distinct. So I'm really kind of looking to potentially get out of this one as we come into the close here on the day. But yeah, let us know what you guys are trading here. Vulcan with the super chat here. Sean, based on your 20-year experience in the stock market, does the market react positively or negatively on a short-term basis during interest cut cycles? So I guess that's a question for you.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to answer that question, so I'm glad that you brought it up. And honestly, I don't know. I mean, you know, what for us as day traders, what it means is just volatility, right? I mean, it's going to be a very, very exciting couple weeks, I would feel like. Obviously, as we head into the interest rate, here it is. Let's go Microsoft downside. Please get to the down. It doesn't matter if it does or not. But I just think we're looking for that volatility, right? I mean, we're looking for the VIX maybe to spike up, which would be bad. That would mean the market would be going to the downside right now. Come on, Microsoft, start to push down a little bit. Look, for me, I haven't studied it enough. I'm going to ask Brian Shannon. We'll get some guests on here that maybe have an opinion and a studied one. But to me, when I think about what rate cuts are supposed to mean, it's generally a bullish sign for the market. But remember, like, the market just touched all-time highs, and we had 500 straight points added to the overnight rate. So that's not supposed to happen either. We just got through a COVID period that I don't think any of us could have expected the monetary policies to be sort of as bountiful maybe as they were. And then the reaction that we had to inflation, I think, was a very, very unique situation that we just went through that maybe we've never gone through. Looks like I've been through war here with my hair, that we've never been through before as well. So Volcan, I don't really know what to expect. And I actually think it's maybe wrong to think one way short term, but I really like it for just buying tech names on dips. I think tech names will be the winner here, especially if the US dollar can get it all figured out and we can repatriate some of the US dollars back in. So there'll be a lot of people in the chat that probably have a good opinion of that as well. Tweet it at me. Let me know if there are historical data points. Maybe we can get JC back on at some point and we can ask him that question as well. From All-Star Charts, I know that he probably has some interesting data points there, as well as you and I, of course, went to JC's event there, that book signing. And cool. that was a fun time. And he has lots of information on lots of different charts. So yeah, I would say definitely sector specific. A lot of people like the IWM there that will benefit from interest rate cuts as well. But the market gets turned upside down, man. I mean, a weak oil should mean a super strong stock market. That necessarily hasn't been the way yet either. So yeah, what you learn in economics classes sometimes is different than what actually happens in reality. So we'll wait to see there. I think it's a bullish sign. That's my opinion. But again, you're going to have someone that says, oh, they're cutting because it's such a weak economy, or the job market's not strong enough there for this and that, right? And so you got to watch out for that. The jobs numbers have been very, very important. We'll see what happens with tomorrow's CPI. Hopefully it comes in as expected and we can just sort of continue with this rhetoric. But right now, we'll see. I think it could be a temporary down push in the market, like September 18th, maybe the week after that, maybe a little bit of a leveling off, maybe a little bit of a flush. Then we can see hopefully a move back up to the upside, but we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what some of these economic numbers bring in over the coming weeks here. But yeah, no, price action is definitely, like we said this morning, Sean, a little volatile, but not really getting anywhere. So what is that? To me, that's usually like indecisiveness, kind of maybe just people just positioning in and out, whatever. I don't know. I don't want to speculate too much. But at the end of the day, being a day trader, just want to react to whatever action that I'm seeing. So yeah, I'm not really. It's funny. It's funny you say that. I don't have a finance background at all. And I think that definitely, I guess potentially double-edged sword, because you could be like, oh, things should be happening this way. Why aren't they?
Exactly.
And then you can kind of get a little stubborn on your trades due to that. Or you can be like, oh, I have no idea. I'm just going to follow the price action and the charts, and maybe you luck out there. But yeah, no, many different.
Yeah, I mean, I hope that opinion came through, because that is what I think. I think it's just important. Microsoft presenting right now at the Goldman Sachs conference. Microsoft presenting at the Goldman Sachs conference, whatever that means. Sorry to interrupt or that train of thought there, but I'm in Microsoft right now. It's not really moving around. We only have about 20% left of this position. I'm going to let it ride into the close. We did get stopped out on our last trade for the TQQs, which is completely like fine. I don't like to get stopped out, but there's the trade. A couple profitable spots down there to the 50 period. Ramin, just real quick right here, and then we'll just show this trade. We got stopped out, so there's it out at 50s. Again, our short 60s. There's the stop out at 65 break. So that was the high of the day. We do get 66s. We'll keep on like our ears sort of to the ground here on Microsoft. But we talk about it all the time. Trade what you see.
Yes.
Right? The trend will always forever be your friend. And if you can continue to monitor that properly, you should be in a good spot. People wondering why I'm in SMR. We did have that report there coming from Barron's article that Larry Ellison, of course, from Oracle fame, talking about basically $100 billion on the sideline right now for uranium plays and SMR. I mean, what did CCJ do? That's Cameco. That is a uranium play as well, dual listed here in Canada, of course. Looks like we got a little bit of a bump on that, but not too much volume there. But yeah, SMR is where we played that name. You could see a big increase there in volume for SMR. So we'll wait to see what happens here with NewScale. I believe it is NewScale, right? Yeah, NewScale Power Corporation, the beneficiary of that story. So nice upside move. Hey, you guys want to know the top traders from yesterday?
Ooh.
Let's go. Right here, I have to refresh this. Compare your profits not loading up. So I will click on this in a second and get that for you. But so a little bit of a what do you call it there when we built it up and then it was a letdown. I just said, let's go over the numbers, and I went over and it wasn't there. All right, we'll get that going one more time for you. Yeah, disappointment. We'll get that in a minute for the tip numbers. But do you want to talk about your JP Morgan trade?
Yeah, JPM kind of just holding on top of this view up again, coming in 331 right now, about 19 minutes away from imbalances. So let's see what we got going on. But Palantir pushing that high as we got above that 78, Sean. 3480s printing right now.
The market got me out
What's
there.
going on, Adara?
We're going to take a look at some of these names in the S&P 500 making larger outsized moves here to the upside and downside and go over the catalyst. Before we get to that, though, I didn't see anything Microsoft specific coming out of that Goldman Sachs Communacopia conference, but be aware it has been going on all week. AMD, we had Lisa Su speaking at that today. Also worth noting, CrowdStrike and Walmart set to appear tomorrow. In terms of the names here in the list, we're starting off with Goldman Sachs, GS. Look, a lot of these banks to the downside, down more than 4%. Last night, we had CEO Solomon here saying that they're seeing their trading business trending down roughly 10% for Q2, though other aspects, including investment banking, are going well. So GS to the downside. Also a note here is XOM. Like a lot of these oil names, we do have Exxon Mobil trading sharply to the downside. Lots of weakness with both diesel and Brent crude hitting actually their lowest level since December 2021. OPEC cutting its demand forecast there. Last but not least, GM. A lot of these Detroit automakers actually weaker as well, including Ford, with Wells Fargo issuing a negative analyst note here on the group, though they only dropped General Motors' price target here by $3, saying that, or sorry, by $1, saying that they have some concerns with regards to its vehicle production forecast and the strength of some of these automakers in Asia. So pretty interesting list of exciting names today, guys.
Okay, thank you.
NVIDIA.
Yeah, that GM's been kind of falling to the downside. Eh?
General Motors?
Yeah, you see that chart lately?
Well, didn't we look at Ford earlier? And
Yeah,
like,
Ford was doing something similar
with
as
that?
well. Yeah. So it seems like maybe it's just those type of car makers right here. But yeah, take a look at GM on a higher time frame. Let's take a look at it on, let's say, the hourly here, and look at that thing to the downside. Sean, look at this one. Been definitely kind of missing out on this one. A lot of that flush coming in the pre-market as well. But yeah, a little bit of a pullback, failure to follow through, can't even get to 50s after a strong trend up. And again, I'm gonna call it out, saying that is August 5th right here, those lows. Nice little trend all the way to the upside. Finally, the trend breaks, and also you can't get through 50. And look at that push back down, lower highs, lower lows, distinctly different action relative to what we've been doing since August 5th. And look at that flush that's coming in today. again, maybe catalyst driven as well, potentially here with that relative volume coming in right in the pre-market for a continuation flush to the downside. So GM giving us some spicy moves here, driving to the downside a little bit as this market pushes to the upside.
Yeah, we got a couple fills there on, there we go.
With SMH.
Let's go. We took some more short there on Softy. You know, it came into VWAP again. We'll just short that. I mean, look, we're now 30 cents in the money on these reloads. This is, I can't like, we scalp. And I mean, we're going to try to hold on. We talk about this over and over and over again all the time, what we're trying to do here on the show. And I mean, I'm trying to do the best I can here to try to still hold on to something, but at the same time, take a little bit of profit. And I know it's not going to be for everybody. We are on a prop floor. We talk about that all the time. Make sure you do hit up that Trade the Pool or realtrading.com to get on a prop floor yourself as well. But like, here it comes. Like, this might just be like not that big of a trade for many of you. But again, when you have a little bit of an upsized buying power, like there you go. We'll take another out at 24. So we're just like getting 30 cents back and forth here. How many times does it happen, right? I mean, when you take, let's just say you take it here and then you take it out 30 cents, then you take 70 cents, then you get the same position again and you take another 30 cents. Well, that just gets added on. You know, it's not like it's not just like one event happens and then that's that. You know, we reloaded it again. So when you're taking 50 cents plus 50 cents, that's $1 plus that's $1.50 when the move is only 50 cents, but you had it 3 times. That's the compounding mathematics there, just like when you buy a stock and you get that compound interest. We just keep getting paid there every single time it comes in. We don't have the huge move to the downside, but we will hold for that. If it does come in, great. We do talk about the conference happening right now. So, all right, Obi, I'm going to put a bid now back down at 412.07s. We'll see if we get that fill. And why we're able to do this is because we reloaded numerous times up there. And if we just hold the same amount of shares, then we can't do this. So again, it's get into your comfort zone. I really like the way Obi trades, obviously. We've talked about that. Trading 3 or 4 different names today. I think maybe even less than that. Stay focused. Stay in the names that brought you to the dance, you know. Microsoft has been a very, very popular name here. For me, it was one of my... Boom. Bang.
Let's go.
Right there. Thank you, Obi, for that one as well.
See him coming from a mile.
Because there you go. Yeah, that's why I said you gotta watch out for your coffees. Nice move to the downside. We get a little excited there. I mean, Obi, we just put this trade on at 412.60, and we just got 412 flat. So it's 60 cents. Just got back in there. Let's see if it continues to move to the downside. Right now for Microsoft, we'll sit into this one. SMR is not doing anything right now. We'll see if we get back up to the upside. We've already got this out. We'll see if SMR continues to work. I am going to put this at the 50 period right now. So let's just take profit on SMR. Good trade. We punched it as soon as we heard the story. We've done that before numerous times on the show where I hear a story and we get in. Sometimes it works, sometimes it does not. What about 794 as a stop order right there? Again, breaking the 50 period. We have not broke it since we've been in this. So let's just take it out. Hey, look, this is what we talk about. Will it be a flat trade if we get out? Yes, it will, but we've already captured that. I mean, it wasn't that big. That was 94 up to 10s. 15 cents worth of profit. It's a light shares, but just showing you that's an opportunity there. Hey, if it runs, it runs. We did the work on SMR. It just hasn't gone up. So there it is. Let's put the stop out for flat. Make sure we at least capture that profit on half of it. And we'll wait for Microsoft to drop below 412 now, and hopefully it continues to go. What's up, Coffee Trader? Got stopped out on his Tesla. So you were going short there on Tesla or long? I mean, I would not. I think it was Sharif. I mean, you and I could talk about this all the time. I mean, you're clearly short JP Morgan, which is a weak name. So I think me and you vibe on that. The whole point is like, I wouldn't, and I know Microsoft is up today. We've sort of gone over that. It's still underneath VWAP, which is why I'm shorting it. Coffee Trader, Ayal, I'm not shorting Tesla up 4%. No, it's on here as a long. If the market wants to rip, great. But for me, I'm going to hold off on shorting Tesla. I hope it goes to the downside for anybody that is short, but I don't want to short a strong name. We're already short what I thought would maybe be a weak name under VWAP. Although we're still up on the day, Microsoft is really doing a dance here. Let's see if it breaks. Now we have the 200 period here. Oh boy, Obi, not to steal a line from you, but if we break that 200 period and the market breaks this 50, then how low can we go? We shall see on Microsoft, 50 cents in the money right now. SMR doing its thing as well. So far, so good here. I'm in a great mood as we go today. I wasn't so certain I was going to be feeling well today, but we get the power of the markets.
Yes, sir.
Just get that boost up. You know, it's like we're Mario Kart, man. We got that star. The minute we sit down here every single morning, we get that little boost of energy, and we get going on that one. So we're really happy to be trading again right now. Oh boy, Tony the Tiger. That's great. When's the last time you had cereal?
Damn. Honestly, I don't know. I know there's a box of cereal sitting on top of the fridge. I don't think it's been touched
here
in many. No, at my house.
In your house.
I don't think it's been touched in many moons. So
my wife is against cereal, man. I remember growing up, we were having Fruit Loops.
What's your favorite cereal?
You know what I really like though? It's a sugary one. And I haven't had cereal in a minute. If I could have cereal now, I actually like Raisin Bran, which is very, very lame. I understand that, but
not too bad. Raisin Bran.
All right, me and Ramin, we're back together right now, me and Ramin. No, corn pops I really liked. You like corn pops? I liked corn pops. You can sort of snack on them with,
what I really like?
With or without milk?
Flintstones Pebbles.
I remember
You ever had those? Those.
Didn't they have?
I used to eat so much that sometimes they did the marshmallow ones as well.
Cocoa Puffs, the
Cocoa Puffs were so good. Oh my God.
Oatmeal crisp is right there.
There's some cereal right there. Let's go.
Is that we got a little bit of milk in there, Ramin? Yogurt.
Fancy.
It's funny that you bring that up because my wife went to Costco today. Maybe we should be trading. Oh, where'd you get that from? By the way, please videotape this. If I tell the lunch lady that. Sure, it's yours. If I tell the lunch lady that oat milk is being used for something other than coffees or teas, there's a problem. Are you showing your receipt to me, Ramin, right now? No, but...
it has her name on it.
It has my name on it.
Oh. Okay, so I'm going to go... Oh, it has your name on it. Okay.
Let me get a marker.
So let me
just start writing my name on anything and everything around me.
How can we prove that something
claim it as my own?
Let me give me something that's
Sorry,
over there. I'm just going to put my name on it.
that you guys have.
Yeah. Just playing around, whatever. You take all the milk you want. But writing your name, that's Obi's banana. That you brought that from home, that means. You brought that from home. No, we just play around here. But no, I mean, one time, this was like, here we go, this is stories from the crypt here. So I think this was a couple years ago, maybe. In today? I got to lower my voice. So this is a couple years ago. So we have fruit, right, that we get every day. So it was maybe 4:30 or something like that. And I was on my way home. And I had my jacket on, whatever, my bag, everything like that. I was getting ready to go home. And I went into the kitchen there and I grabbed an apple.
Okay.
And so she turned to me and goes, fruit are only supposed to be eaten if you're in the building. Like, she knew I was leaving. And she was like, you're not, the fruit is for people that like currently clocked in, basically. Oh, she did that to Ramin. Yeah, so there you go. So Ramin's already felt the wrath. And then I was like, for real? I mean, the apple still went with me home, but the idea was there. Now we have to be a little more sly.
Yeah, you got to be slick with it.
Yeah, slick with it. So I like writing the name down on the fruit.
As long as the name is there, it has been claimed.
And then if she does see this clip tomorrow, on the fridge will be a note that will say, it'll be very passive aggressive. It will say, milk only for those that are using it for coffees or teas.
That's fair. What was that?
What is Tuxedo Tuesdays? What's up, Erie? You want us to wear the Fruit Police? That's right.
Fruit Police.
Are we supposed to wear tuxedos? I don't own a tuxedo. You own a tuxedo?
I don't know if it fits anymore, but I still have my tux from prom.
Oh, you wore a tux to prom?
Yeah.
You're just a pimp, eh? I just wore a suit. I didn't do anything.
I had a little fedora as well, if that helps.
You did. Of course you did. Did you have a cane?
I wish.
Yeah, man. Why don't you fill it out with a cane?
I mean, that would have been a little too much.
I think for Halloween, you should wear this tuxedo with the fedora, if you have it, even if it is super
I should dress up as Tuxedo Mask?
Yes. Is that a anime character?
From Sailor Moon.
So yes?
That's like the guy from
Sailor Moon. How am I, like... You look at me, oh yeah, from Sailor Moon, like I'm the crazy one. Like, I'm trying, man. I mean, we watched One Piece. I thought that was great, man. Yeah. And we were looking all through London for these, wasted, yeah, for these, not yet, for these One Piece little things. And my son absolutely loves that one. So, all right, let's go. I don't know. We're still in the same trades. That was a good talk there. Thanks, Obi. I think that provided a lot of interesting moments there. All right, SMR did go back into that level. I'm debating just taking this out at 8:15. I think that's a possibility right there for that trade. I'll hold it, but there's only, what? Did you see how much time is left?
Yeah, there's
15 minutes.
Oh boy.
Oh boy. What's up, Adara?
Just keep an eye on WOOF here. WOOF is the ticker. This is Petco Health coming into new high of days, getting increasing volume here is basically at the start of power hour. They do report after the bell alongside GameStop, GME, and Dave & Buster's PLAY. So it should be a pretty interesting post-market earnings season here, guys.
Right. So it'll be interesting.
I mean, yeah.
We got on watch.
I mean, the thing is, yeah, is GameStop play, but the thing is that we have a bunch of question marks written beside our GameStop because we don't know exactly when it's going to be coming out. So you got to make sure that you do watch the recap show with myself and Brian Shannon in 15 minutes because we have Woof also is coming out. Woof, expected move. What? Okay, the Woof, the implied move on Petco today, it's only a $3 name, 21% move implied on Woof. So we'll find out tonight if people are buying more. Well, we had that Chewy talk as well, so we'll wait to see if pets are still on everyone's mind today. 21% implied move on Woof. Again, big destructed name to the downside there. As a lot of these, is this one of those, I know Chewy, BarkBox was one that I got invested in that got wiped out my account. So that was not, hey, what's up? That was not a good trade either. But Woof downside there. A play was the other one. Dave & Buster's coming through tonight as well, as we just had gone through there. Thanks to Dara for all these mentions. Dave & Buster's, the implied move on this one, also quite extended, 15.5%. So although we do obviously want to thank Justin for coming through, talking about implied volatility and all that, there's going to be some movements here. When's the last time you've been to Dave & Buster's? I mean, this name, boom, 70 all the way down to $30 right now. Like, there are so many names that there's like a lot of trouble here brewing, right? Like big trouble in Little China for Dave & Buster's today. Down, we'll wait out to see what their report can come through with, but downside play there for Dave & Buster's.
Been to Rec Room in the past year. I think that's more like Dave & Buster's for. Well, I guess Dave & Buster's
is supposed to be like a Chuck E. Cheese for adults.
Yeah. I like the Rec Room.
Five Nights at Freddy's. See that movie? That's not bad.
No, I haven't seen that movie.
I saw that one with my kid for a bunch of times. He really enjoys that one. Microsoft coming back.
3 more minutes, Sean.
Yeah, 3 more
3
minutes.
more minutes until these imbalances come out. I'd pieced out of most of my JPM there. We did revisit that 205 on a bit of a flush there. So 205, what's that low there? So 205.11's printing. The prior low there that we got, 205.06. So this one printed 06s, this one printed 11s on top of 205. I pieced off of most of it as we are holding in and around this VWAP level going into the imbalances right there. Got my stop in. Let's see what this thing does here going into the close. Aggressive selling off of the open there. A bit of a beautiful reversion back to VWAP. I definitely missed out on that trade. I kind of was watching this one, and I was like, all right, well, when and if this breaks trend, I do want the reversion long. Missed out on that one, so we take the reversion of the reversion, Sean. Again, getting maybe worse and worse as the reversions revert.
You reverted the reversion?
I reverted the reversion.
What the heck is wrong with you? Okay, so we'll
ask myself that often.
Yeah, same. Generally, it comes from my wife, but I mean, sometimes I do talk to myself about that all the time. Probably like today. Hello, Jerome?
Ask him about CPI.
I tried. Yeah, he doesn't. Last CPI print, we were talking the night before. He was very, very hush. Yes, you have to be very, very careful with it.
I like the churn that you're doing there on Softy. Like the market's not really getting anywhere, and Softy's just churning.
That's another 25 cents.
Solid.
Appreciate it,
Nice
man.
little recycle.
All right, 412.30s. We'll wait. I'm getting, like, we have to start piecing this out. So, I mean, we think the flush is upon us, but again, on a positive day, do we really want to mess with these market on close imbalances? I mean, remember when New was there? It was like 90 million shares that one day on the rebalance of the addition of this name into, was it the Russell? Anyways, New rate, MSCI. So that was a good one there. So that's getting a nice bid coming through. We only have 30 seconds, so I'm going to zap this away, talk about this, and only show NASDAQ in New York. So in about 20 seconds now, we will get that coming through. So I'm bidding some Microsoft. As this breaks 413, we're out. We're now playing with a lot of house money, so we're just going to chill out on Microsoft. If the imbalances come bid, then we are dead, and it will take us out, and we will get stopped out. If it comes offer and it's a sell, then we have lower bids to go. SMR, there it is. The market's now, boom, finally, let's go. Nice downside move. Bring the pain for us. It doesn't always work out, but this time it does. Nice move down there for Microsoft down to the downside. It's a sell for NVIDIA as well. As that goes, it's a sell everywhere right now. We'll wait to get the number from Adara, but we have a sell in NVIDIA, we have a sell in Amazon. As that's starting to tick lower, we have a sell in Intel. Who cares? There's a sell in Google as well, pushing the market lower. It's NVIDIA, though, with the largest one, down to 107.40. Look, good out there for Microsoft. We'll get lighter and lighter on that name as we go. SMR taking out the top now. Let's just put an offer here on SMR. Maybe we get hit there at 17. Hopefully we do. Our good friend Palantir, Alex Karp and company, come in and buy those dips up just like we did. We bought those dips up today on Palantir, got hit early, made money late on PLTR, but Obi and I talked about this. We're nothing without honesty, still red today for myself on Palantir, but just a little bit. We're able to make that money back, and there it goes. Right now, SMR. Boom goes the dynamite on that one as we get at the rest out there on SMR. A good hold into the close of the day, Obi. Yeah. We're having a lot of fun. Thanks for filling in for Neil today. I don't know if he'll be back tomorrow. I'm hoping that he will be healthy enough to be with us. So good trading so far today. We're just short Microsoft. What's up, Adara?
Just a quick update here on this ongoing feud between Disney and DirecTV. DIS curling to the downside as we have DirecTV confirming that they have rejected Disney's offer to restore its ABC news feed for the presidential debate. So Disney offering to restore its news feed, DirecTV rejecting that offer. These two have been in a little bit of a spat since September 1st. Disney putting some of its channels off the grid on DirecTV due to some negotiation issues. DirecTV responded over the weekend by filing some complaints here with the FCC, the Federal Communications Commission. So update here, DIS on watch with that news, guys.
Yeah, Disney with a little bit of expanding volume coming into the close there as well. Interesting action on the day here, Disney. I just pulled it up when she was mentioning. It's pretty much a strong range. Look at that wide range, 88.85s to 88. So about an 85 penny range there, kind of holding that range from Friday, right? That's selling from Friday. We've just been kind of clocking that range over and over again for the past 3 days. Let's take a look at a higher time frame as well. And my question I'm asking is, where did that anchor go? Wasn't there an anchor just here? Okay, so yeah, sometimes you put it on a higher time frame, it goes back to where it belongs once you kind of switch to that time frame. But yeah, okay, cool. So a little bit of a choppy action there. Let's see if this kind of comes in. But yeah, a bit of a range happening over the past few days was something I kind of picked up on right away after picking up or after pulling up the ticker there. Again, hey Davis, you are awesome as well. Again, crazy action today on Palantir. Again, especially in the midday there, with that aggressive flush coming in through VWAP, 34 halves down to 33.70s, and we've held that. So we've held technically on a larger time frame, we've held a higher low. Let's pull up Palantir and kind of talk about it, because again, I think this name will potentially continue to be in play until it does get added into until that final day when it does get added into the S&P there. Kind of let's see if it has that anticipatory run going into it there. And so far, it has been holding higher highs. We did make a higher high today and a higher low as well. And look at that, a little bit of an interesting push. I think it was Peter Thiel, his name, kind of coming in with that catalyst and being like, all right, well, you know, got ability to sell on this ticker. The ticker flushes aggressively, and guess where it instantly finds a bid? It instantly finds a bid right above low a day at 72. So that was very interesting. Reclaim of that VWAP and then a push all the way back to some of these opening range prices there. So not necessarily at the open just yet. Open is only about 4 pennies away at 34.86, and we're trading at 34.82s as of right now, continuing to push up into the close with only about 6 minutes left. So absolutely crazy action there. A little bit of a continuation trade, maybe potentially multi-day. So today's high 35.20. Coming in tomorrow, I'll definitely be watching that high 35. Let's see what we do with those. But a little bit of a base getting defined today at that 33.7s. Will we be back here anytime soon? I have no idea, but I definitely want to be watching if we ever do get a little close in there within the next a week or so. Thank you as well, Bears versus Bulls, for always doing a great job. Again, hopefully, I hope that Neil is feeling better for tomorrow, and you're gonna be seeing Neil and I on Friday as well. I think Sean's taking a day off on Friday, so it will be Neil and I. So I will be back on Friday to have another trading day with y'all. So hopefully you guys are looking forward to that. I definitely am. Oh boy, indeed, Sean. As these imbalances kind of pair, and nothing too crazy that I'm seeing is happening across the board. No significant imbalances. I have NVIDIA here as an 835K imbalance to buy. Intel being the next biggest one. Google being following closely in third place, with Apple and Avgo next. So nothing too crazy as of right now. JPM didn't really do too much. We dropped down, we popped back up. I'm probably going to get stopped out on this one for my last little bit here. Covered most of it on top of VWAP. Didn't really do what I was looking for going through. I was looking for it to get back down through that 205, and it didn't really want to do that, and that's perfectly fine as well. We don't have too much time going into the close here. TJX saying NVIDIA. So let's take a quick look at NVIDIA before we kind of leave you guys here. We only have a couple more minutes left, or 3-4 minutes left until the bell here. But NVIDIA trading back within this range. We were looking at this range 110s to 104s was a bit of a range there for a couple of days. We broke that on Friday. Aggressive selling that did come in, but then look at that. We reclaimed that today with 105s coming in as the low of the day here, and 109s and some change. 109.35, 109.40 being the high of the day right off of the open there on NVIDIA. So pretty muted there, kind of consolidating after pulling back down off of that 130 failure to follow through. Again, we cover this multiple times over and over again here on the midday show and the main show as well. This trend resistance that I've been watching here on NVIDIA from all-time highs at 141. We attempt to push up into 130s, can't really make it. And look at that, leg down, consolidation on an anchored, leg down, consolidation. I wonder what's going to happen next, guys. Let's see if we can hold this 100 mark and continue to push back up. That 110 to 104 is still on watch, as it has been a bit of a rangy action here on NVIDIA, in my opinion. So I'll be watching those prices as I like them, but then again, that's just my opinion.
Let's check out, thanks, Obi, for that. We got everything ready to rock and roll there.
Let's go.
Make sure I'm still, yep, we're still good to go. Ready to go for the after show. We'll be ready to go. So GME right now down a little bit, down 3%. This will be the big name that we're looking at into the close. So we'll wait to see what happens with GameStop. Microsoft was a great trade there at the end of the day. The futures not so much, as we get pretty choppy there to close. So GameStop, just checking in on that one. Quick check on NVIDIA as well. We really like that. Look, we marked down here today. We traded NVIDIA, and NVIDIA is going to be a name for us that we're positive on. But as I look back, we really like that 110 or 105. Oh my God, I just noticed this. We said right here, and again, let's just do what we do the best. Look what we wrote down here. NVIDIA, 105 support. NVIDIA, 105 support, right? There it is right there, 105 support on NVIDIA. You know what the low of the day was? 104.80. So there's 105. We weren't here for that trade, but that's the hold. Wow. I was just going to say we did not break through 108 today, or 110, but look at that 105 hold there on NVIDIA. Absolutely, chef kiss that one. We'll see if we can pick that again, man. Wolf coming through, play, and GME. So we'll wait to see here what's going on with Wolf. Should be a big mover. Play, and then GME coming into play there. Let's see what happens with Apple at the end of the day. If we only have... Okay, I think this is about right here. All right, Apple 220 and change. You're going to hit this, Obi?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so here we go. I'm going to get back over to the desk. See everybody. Thanks, Obi, for another great day. We'll see everybody on the Market Recap Show.
Yeah, no worries. Okay, so we got the closing bell here, which is brought to you by Firefly Neuroscience. So thank you, Adara, for ringing the bell. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Here we go. Thank you very much. So thank you again for kind of spending your time with us here today. Hopefully you guys learned a thing or two. Again, every day is a learning day for me. I got to do a little bit better every day, and definitely Palantir gave us a few opportunities to kind of test our mettle and potentially get involved with some of this price action on the day today. JPM absolutely wild as well. Nice V-shaped recovery here happening on the markets as we bounce off of 18.6 on the NASDAQ and 54.50 here on the ES, recovering pretty much back above opening prices here on both these futures. So should be interesting day going forward. A little bit of volatility, but not really getting anywhere right before CPI. So maybe we're just patiently waiting for that economic number to come out, and we'll see what happens tomorrow. So good luck with everything, guys. But don't go anywhere. We got Sean at the big desk from the Market Recap. I'll see you guys around. Take it easy. Have a good one.
Hello, everybody, and thank you, Obi, for that sort of throw over here. I want to thank Obi for filling in for Neil today. It was an absolutely fantastic day. However, when I look back here, I do a little bit of because we had some indexes that were downside today. Depends on where you're invested, how good of a day this possibly was for you. UNG up 5% today, uranium up as energy gets excited again. I have the triple Qs up here. I'm actually going to drop this down for a 1-minute chart. Nice pullback into the end of the day. NASDAQ, though, still up 0.87 today. Real estate up today, XLRE. Let's go to daily charts. Look at the real estate ETF. We had talked about this for a minute. Find sectors that are interest rate sensitive, right? XLRE, of course, with real estate. Nice upside move there today. If you're going to look here, ARC up. So again, another interest rate sensitive spot there. Gold obviously has a little bit of a safe haven, makes that move higher. We saw crypto up with IBIT. Thank you everybody for joining again. This is your Market Recap Show where we'll try to go over as many ETFs as we can. We'll give you a general feel for the market. Tomorrow's CPI expected to come in relatively flat. We'll wait to see where that number comes. The last few prints have sort of been as expected, and the market hasn't moved dramatically. We'll see tomorrow at 8:30 where we go with the CPI number. But GDX up 1.25, gold up 0.44. Look where gold is right here. Maybe we'll zoom out a little bit, give you an idea. These are daily charts. Gold at 233. SMH, no, it's not shaking my head. It's bouncing off the 200 period. I like that as a play for SMH. Nice move there. But you know what? What goes up for UNG? And I said energy. It's alternative energy today with nat gas and uranium, but it's USO making some downside pushes there today. As we talk about these markets coming back in for the day, USO, OYH, the oil holders making a move down in. I don't know if marijuana is going to be talked about there today, but you can see we do have a nice sort of, maybe Neil drew these, nice downside push for MSOS today. Down 3%, kind of par for the course there on this JETS ETF. XLF today, as we get some news from JP Morgan. Look, JP Morgan finishes the day at 205. But a downside push there for JP Morgan. I don't know if the note is in here, exactly what was going on with the banks. We'll get that to you in a couple minutes. but nice downside push there for JPM, followed by BAC as well, down 0.46. Looks like it might be isolated to JP Morgan as they talked about their expenses adding up this year, making that push down. Wells Fargo also down today, 1.1%. We will very, very soon have Brian Shannon of Anchored VWAP fame coming through to us today as well. It looks like the diamonds were down. So DIA is going to be, of course, really affected by the financials as well as healthcare. So some downside pushes today in the DIA, which is the Dow Jones. Dow Jones down 0.21 today. The gold market today up 0.44. NASDAQ ends the day up 0.86. Those are the big markets there. Energy down. KRE, of course, with banks being in focus. This ETF down 0.59 for KRE downside. Not a couple good days, man, for regionals. Downside into 54, the 50 period moving average coming in. Utilities with a nice move upside today as well. Look at this. And this is what we talk about being diversified. It seems like it's like one out of every two charts I'm pulling up are either at 52-week highs or pulling back into support again. So it's really going to matter. GameStop is now out. Right now. GameStop is now out. Let's switch over. There it is, GameStop to the downside. Looks like we'll have a little bit of a downside move here for GME. We'll get it from you on Benzinga as soon as I have it. I'm hearing 4 cents. Estimate on GameStop. We're still waiting for it. It's in my ear right now. So what I have here, estimate of minus 1 cent. So they are reporting 4 cents upside right now for GameStop. Not sure why it flushed there on that early take. That is GameStop. I'm going to try to log into my software as well, see if we could talk a little bit about trading and see what GameStop looks like on a live level 2 right now. So it doesn't seem like it's doing too much. GameStop right now, I'm hearing, here it is right here, GameStop reporting 4 cents beating 1 cent. Sales miss. So that might have been the flush. Sales of $7.98 right there for GameStop. Missing right now. Dave & Buster's is out as well. Dave & Buster's right now, 112, smoking the 84 cents, but then missing on the revenues again. So sales side, miss for both GameStop and for Dave & Buster's. Let's go have a quick look on what's happening. So that's what's happening on GameStop, downside move. What's happening on Dave & Buster's? Look at this, Ramin. Dave & Buster's, huge move to the upside, 30 up to 35 and still going. It's play. Dave & Buster's, take me on a date tonight. Dave & Buster's, nice upside move. GameStop says it will not be holding. GameStop will not have a conference call today. So that's coming through my ear right now as well. So GameStop, here's what it looks like on a daily chart. You're looking for it to break through 25 or potentially hold this $20 area. What is GameStop doing? Flat. So we will slap a fail on it. Look, I'm not here to comment on the quarter as much as it's just out right now, but no conference call today. And a beat on EPS of 4 cents for GameStop versus minus 0.1, but they miss on sales. $7.98 versus $8.95. It's an ugly miss on sales. You don't want to miss by 100 million. We'll find out more about the quarter as it comes through, but right now, GameStop just kind of hovering around doing nothing. The reason why I slap a fail is we had an estimate move here of 8% or so on GameStop. Let me double check that. I don't want to confuse it with Oracle. Implied move of 15% on GameStop, flat right now, not doing anything. Is Woof out? Oh man, it looks like this move might be disappointed as well. We are looking for a 20% move in Woof. It goes all the way up and all the way back down. So right now, relatively unaggressive moves here in the after hours, both for Woof, for GameStop, and for Dave & Buster's. But Dave & Buster's was nice, up 10% expected move there as well, 15. So 15% implied move for in play, 15% implied move for GME. Wow, this is a close-up. I like it. Or maybe I don't. And a 21% move for Woof as well. Yeah, let's watch out for implied moves tomorrow on these names. More importantly, GME. So kind of flat. We'll wait. Hopefully it gets going. Let me just check. We said we'd look at this right here. Look at live movement from GameStop. This is a live level 2 right now of GME right here, right now. This is my level 2. This is my platform right here from Real Trading. You can see back and forth GME. Not many parked orders here. Not too much size on the level 2 right now for GME. So we'll see where this movement goes. I got to give a big shout out. I feel like I don't do this enough. What's up to Bears versus Bulls? A big one for you as well. A lot of love there for our moderator, the best in the business. Looks like GME right now will be relatively flat. Remember, this number's just being calculated as we go, so it's not from the close. Today, GME closes at 23.40, so we're right now down about 30 cents, which is a snoozer today for GameStop. We can find out if AMC is doing anything. Oh, wow. See, this is why we look at this. Yeah, a little bit of an uneventful move. Look at the parked orders here. This is what we want to look for. Big time shares being offered under $5 for AMC. A flip back to GameStop. Yeah, so sorry about that. Hey, I am the people's trader, but you are the people's moderator. So shout out to you, Mr. Bears versus Bulls. All right, let's go over some stocks here as we have a second, and we'll read a couple notes here that we had prepared for today's trading. And it looks like this. The markets had a nice recovery after what was a bad week last week. The worst week last week since 2020. See it, Fabian. This guy wears his sunglasses at night. His name is Fabian. He is the Chilean nightmare as he exits the building. That is one from Sharif. Walmart today, nicely up 1.9%. That was helping out the retail trade today. Man, oh man, did we ever nail Amazon. Amazon today up 2.37%. Walmart up 1.9%. Home Depot 1.5%. Lowe's. So a good little spot there for retail. But where was the strength? What about SMH? What about the semis, right? NVIDIA upside. Broadcom. Why did we not look at that today? Broadcom up 5. I believe Adara might have been trading Broadcom or not. She says no, so fail on me on that one. 5.1% up for Broadcom. AMD had a good day today as well, up 3.39% as NVIDIA lifts the stocks, but they all go up, but not all. Texas Instruments down 0.68, Raytheon down 0.71, LMT. We actually talked about some of these stocks as we don't worry, we're thankful that some of the escalations there in the Middle East and in Russia and Ukraine, hopefully dying down a little bit. Qualcomm 0.5. Look at Google, can't get off the mat. Microsoft has a nice run at the end of the day, up 2%. What else? Eli Lilly down 0.7. What does Eli Lilly look like? 902 right now, so thank you, Eli Lilly, for that one. AbbVie with a nice move. XOM, yuckity yuck. XOM back down into 110 right now. We'll see if XOM can withstand some of the pressures coming into that name. Again, lower demand, higher supply. Tomorrow at 10:30, catch oil live at Trader TV as we will have that one. Look at Tesla today, 4.5%. Nice move to the upside there for Tesla. So oil down, Tesla, uranium. You know what? Let me just go check out what was going on TAN today. TAN is the solar ETF. Okay, flat. Oh no, up 0.29 today is TAN right now, but that's probably taking into consideration that tick. So relatively flat for TAN. Let's have a quick look at the S&P 500 here on a daily chart. S&P right now still underneath the 50-period moving average. I do want to talk to Brian about some S&P love. He did have a tweet out today. Not here yet, Brian Shannon, but he'll come. When he's here, he's here. And if not, you might have to just put up with me for the rest of the day. All right. I want to give a big shout out to everybody that's still watching. We have not 1,000 watching, OB. Not 2,000 watching right now, but we have over 3,000 with no earnings. So we really like that. We appreciate that. I said no earnings, but many of you here are here for GME. Special guest coming up, Roaring Kitty. Nah, we don't have him. We should try to reach out to that guy. I think that would be hilarious. Him and I could definitely vibe on that one. Although I remember the last time, Roaring Kitty, that was one of the most hyped things, man. We all waited for the guy at noon. He didn't come on till 1. When he did, he sat in there. He had a great little intro. The music was getting me all pumped up. I was long GameStop, and all of a sudden GameStop went the wrong way for me on that one. But we had a lot of fun. I can't remember what date that was. I was going to say, let's look at the charts. So right into here, you can always figure out when there's actionable events. GameStop, without any tweets or anything going on, the business might be in trouble, but the action is here for GameStop, but not today. Right now, relatively flat, 23.50. It's actually making a move to the upside here. a little bit now for GameStop, but a pretty disappointing overall move for GameStop. We'll check in on our Benzinga report again. I don't hear anything on this name other than what we've told you. No conference call today for GameStop. So take what you may from that. No conference call, not much of a guide. I don't see anything there either. It was a report of 4 cents versus -1. GameStop a better report, but they missed on sales by over $100 million. Rivian Millionaire says over 1 million people joining us right now. No, but I wish that was the truth. Let me check in on Alibaba. Today we had some nice moves for Alibaba, up 3%. We kind of ignored that stock. Obviously, mistake here as we look at a 1-minute chart. Really well held down there at $83. Alibaba joins a different exchange there, giving it some more access to public funds over in China. So Alibaba could definitely be one of those plays back up there to the upside. We are now moments away from Brian. Look at this. We took some pictures the other day, changed this picture. All right, they're more serious, now. So we'll. Not bad. Thank you, Ramina. Maybe she likes it. SMR was a good trade. Hey, this is a name that Brian's talked to us about. We get that news today from Larry and Barron's talking about $100 billion coming into the space. So we go in there. How's it going? Out at the end of the day at 820. A take there at 790. Out and out for SMR. But I was trying to show you that I retweeted Brian's tweet today. I want to talk to him about this exact tweet. We'll bring him on in 1 second here about the SPY and anchored VWAP. So we'll get to that. And you know what? No better time than right now. Let's bring it on. It's Trader Talk. Oh, Brian, how are you doing today? Yeah, last week you had the don't buy the dip shirt. Seems like you might have been right on that one. For now, the market went out on its lows last week, the worst week since 2022. And I got to give credit where credit is due. You're here every Tuesday, and you told us, be aware, there could be some more downside push, and we ended the week on lows. So congratulations for that one. I hope people did not buy that dip. But that tweet that I just showed, you want to talk about that a little bit? Maybe there is some support somewhere for the SPY.
Sure. I'm kind of nervous here, Sean, because I didn't realize you had 1 million subscribers, viewers here today. So such a big audience that Rivian pointed out. Looking at the SPY, though, the daily time frame, we've got a couple things going on here. We're trapped below the declining 50-day moving average. That's this blue line right here. And what I was pointing out here is these are the days we're going to average out of that 50-day moving average the next couple days. So unless this market rallies, then this 50-day moving average is going to start to really see a negative slope to it like this. You don't want to see that. The 20-day moving average, we're going to get rid of these days by the end of the week. So that's going to make this moving average look like this as well. So we've got, again, mixed messages. We're holding at the anchor from the August 5th low. That's this green line over here on the right. That's also a 38.2% retracement of this low to this high. So that's 38.2%, 50%, 61.8. And then over here, we've got the 5-day moving average. We're above it, but the 5-day moving average is declining. So I look at this and say, we've got the economic reports in the morning, the next 2 days in a row. This thing we're at a critical level, I think, Sean, and I don't know which way it goes. I hope it does something like this, pulls back a little bit, starts to build, the 5-day moving average flattens out, and then it breaks above the anchor for the month, and then we continue to move higher like this never happened. But, it's just too indecisive for me.
It's just, I was also wondering, and I agree with you, I think we are at a very, very important point here. And the reason why we talk about this is I just feel like it's a little overcrowded. I know you and I talked about this, like September, everything I'm reading like on Twitter, it's like, it's the worst month, get ready for all this. Plus we're heading into an election. We've seen energy and oil I wanted to ask you about as well with USO and some names like XOM really coming back in a little bit. I just wonder if a lot of the fear mongering just because it's September, maybe a little overdone. So thank you for some of those key levels. Do we want to touch a little bit about anything in the energy space? I know you and I went back and forth. There was a name last week. It's not BHP. It was...
Yeah, that was a couple weeks ago. That was Baker Hughes.
Baker Hughes.
and it failed to do what I would hope it had done over here. So last week we spoke about it, and that's what these arrows were, that we were looking for it to get back above this high and do something like this. Instead, it failed.
Right.
So that one, just like all of these energy names,
Yes.
they're broken. They're going to need time to heal. This is XLE, and we've got lower highs and lower lows. It's just breaking down. It looks like crap, Sean. There's no better way to say it.
Yeah, pretty, easy way to say something. Does not look proper. But you know what I just did? And this is something that you've taught me before. Not an anchored VWAP. We'll get to that in a minute. But I went out to a weekly on Occidental. The reason why we talk about this name is that we have Berkshire. We know that's a name that they're definitely long in, potentially with maybe a bottom coming in. Look how good this looks. And maybe you tell me, I'm a simple man over here, Brian. But if you come over to my screen, Ramin, quickly, on the weekly, this is a 200 period on the weekly. The last time we were in and around there, we danced a little bit before breaking out, not into all-time highs, but close enough. Once we broke it here, we danced as well and fell down. I feel like this is a spot right now for Occidental. Is there anything that you can show me a little bit more support here, or are we not touching this thing until we get some definite confirmation, maybe even back above $60?
This one, it's tough. I can't imagine where this stock would be if Warren hasn't been buying it every day for the last 2 years. But it broke important support at $55 per share, and it didn't quickly recover. So support once broken tends to act as resistance. I think you've got to look for it to maybe do this and then continue lower. If somehow it can just trap the shorts under here and then recover, maybe it does recover. But right now we're below we're below the 50, 100, 150, 200-day moving average. That's not what a bullish stock looks like. We're below the anchor off of this low right here, which is what had been supporting the stock, Sean. And now it looks like we're headed towards the anchor off of the 2020 low. That's this first purple line. And that would bring it down to 47.5, 48. I say good luck, Warren. I'm glad you're in the trillionaire club or whatever it is, but this stock's not helping.
Yeah, I was going to say for now. I think Berkshire maybe gotten hit a little bit downside here over the last couple of days, but a good look there, joining the $1 trillion club. My wife today, I was talking with her on my little walk after the 11 o'clock show, and she reminded me that, hey, in Costco, she doesn't get very good cell phone service, but that means that she's in there spending the cash. If I look at the weekly chart here for Costco, it is straight fire for Costco. Taking out highs right now, looking good. Another name that's hot as well, Walmart, straight to the upside. But you know what? We did a little bit of digging on your Twitter feed, and you had mentioned that Target possibly setting up right now with an earnings gap. Have we found some support? Can we put down some anchors anywhere on Target? How's it looking? If you come over to the chart, Ramin, you can see not all are the same, man. Everything else is going this way, Brian. Target's hovering around here. You got some good news about Target for us, or how's that looking technically?
It's not doing what I wanted it to so far. I put it on radar yesterday, and realistically on the 30-minute time frame here on the right, I was hoping we could get back above this 5-day moving average and then continue to move higher like this. Instead, we've broken down. So it's kind of similar to BKR a couple weeks ago that I was watching it, but it failed to materialize. So right now, it's just kind of broken. We're back below this thick blue line, which is the year-to-date anchor. Let's actually clean all this stuff up. It's below the 200-day moving average, the 20-day moving average. It's right on the 50, below the year-to-date. It's making still on this 30-minute time frame. It looked like, and this is why you never want to be early to buy. You want to buy strength above the flat to rising 5-day moving average, which would have implied a buy over here with a stop maybe underneath this low or one of these lows. But instead, once it breaks down, the thesis is no longer there from a technical standpoint. It's going to have to recover and rebuild. So for now, I have no interest in Target. So thanks for bringing that up, because the setup just simply isn't there.
Yeah, I wanted to also bring up, of course, I want to welcome Brian Shannon once again, a regular guest in Maximum Trading Gains with your anchored VWAP. Everyone can go grab that book again at Alpha Trends on there. So, and that's one thing that I learned from reading the book as well. You talked about stocks can be in the penalty box. You know, you just got to wait for them to get out. You got to wait for something to happen. Actionable events. I really like catalysts. We're coming up, obviously. I mean, I think we all do. CPI tomorrow. You talked about more economic numbers coming through. But I got a question on the main show today, and I'll put you on the spot because they put me on the spot. And I didn't really have a great answer other than what I knew from economics. And that is that we're coming into rate cut cycle, right? I mean, we know that's going to happen next Wednesday on the 18th. We're expecting a 1/4 point cut. What's your experience in the many years that you have? I had thought that rate cut cycle means that we should start to dip buy some of these equities, especially in the tech space. I feel like that should be a strong area, but it doesn't really feel like we should be dip buying anything as this rate cut cycle begins now. Any thoughts about maybe looking to be actionable? And we're going to be on the show again next Tuesday, hopefully before this cut. But are we looking to do anything on this number, or again, let it settle down? Like historically, how do you feel about entering this rate cut cycle?
Well, Sean, about a month or so ago, I posted a tweet, and I'll try to dig that up and bring it on for next week, which it shows the rate cuts overlaid with the S&P 500.
Oh, perfect.
And the last 3 cycles, basically the rate cuts, the beginning of the rate cuts, marked the peak of the market. So we saw the market doing just the opposite of what common sense would tell you, that lower interest rates are good for stocks. Therefore, stocks should go higher on interest rate cuts. But it seems as though, the market has been anticipating this for the last year. We're finally getting it, and we're starting to get a little bit of nervousness ahead of that. I think maybe based on the size of the rate cut, the frequency, but generally speaking, it hasn't been bullish the way most people have been trained to think it is.
I mean, and that's why I'm going to hit this calculation thing here. Now we got some cool graphics going on there, as we'll get that tweet next week. And that's perfect. Some people in the chat saying that as well. The earlier moves generally to the downside on that first rate cut. So we'll see if there's some selling coming into that one. All right. We have a hat that we wear on the show every once in a while, and it says Palantir Investor. We've been an investor in Palantir since its direct listing. Came out at $9.20, actually went below that. I have a weekly chart right here up on Palantir. We are now starting to break out. If we can come over here, Ramin will have a quick look at this weekly chart. Here it comes out at $9. So it comes out in 2020 of October. So it's coming up to its 4-year anniversary. In all of this, we spent some time underneath and then just started to go upside. It's really held this 50 period on a weekly. And now we finally get that inclusion into the S&P 500. To me, overbought, yes. RSI in and around this 75 mark spot looks to be a little overbought to me. But are we still trading Palantir? We holding this long? I am. Where is a spot where we can maybe get concerned with if it does fall back in? What does Brian Shannon think of this recent move on Palantir?
Well, I think, Sean, that, the stock can be a little bit erratic based on the daily chart. We had, what was looking like and we have a real nice pattern of higher highs and higher lows. Then you got these 2 days here that really, I don't know how you held through that one. That took a lot of belief in the stock. But fortunately for the people who did, it recovered quickly. I would traditionally say that, from an investment standpoint, that this looks like the most recent relevant higher low for an investor, and that stocks should probably, and you should probably be concerned if it drops below there. So that's basically about $29 a share.
All right. So. Yep, absolutely nailed that one. TT777 in the chat goes, I'm a buyer at 29. So there it is right there. All right, we're getting on in time. It's 4:27 right now. Is there anything that you've maybe looking at to start a position? Anything you want to comment on that maybe you've brought to us before that the viewers can look forward to for the next time we see you on?
I don't know if we mentioned the CYH, but I finally got stopped out of the balance of that one today. And it might not look like much here, but that was a 4.5% move over the last couple of weeks. I got short JBL today.
Okay.
And small size, but here's the daily chart where these circles show the lower highs and lower lows. And let's just back it up to a weekly time frame for a moment. And you can see we're breaking below this anchor from the 2022 low. We're below all those moving averages. So I'm short that one, but I don't have a lot of confidence in it. I just put it on tomorrow, and we've got an economics report that might mess it up. I've got an eye on Box, BOX. I'm not ready to buy it yet. The thing is, this Box looks a lot like Best Buy did after their earnings, but this one continues to drift lower. AFRM also up big and just continues to drift lower. And this is why I'm adamant that with lower highs and lower lows, we don't want to be buying the dip because we don't know how low it can go. We can try to buy at a 20-day moving average, a 10-day, a 5-day, whatever. But until we break that pattern of lower highs and lower lows, it's just not quite ready yet. So I hate to give you this type of answer, Sean, but I think it's better off as a real short-term trader's market, which benefits you and your audience, obviously, with what you do each day. But as far as setting up low-risk swings right here, right now, we've got too much, what we spoke about in the S&P 500. There's just too much indecisiveness to really, put some weight into anything.
I'm going to ask you one more question. If you come over to my screen right here, Ramin, we had SMR today, and this is a name that I believe we've talked about before, of course, NewScale. We had this note today that potentially getting involved. There's $100 billion on the sideline. Larry Ellison talking about this. There's a Barron article. So we just saw the volume pick up here. And of course, like the trader that we are and like that you are, you wait for events to come through. Nice volume there. We bought it. Nice upside move. But you know what I just did there, Brian? I put in here a weekly, and this is from you. We had talked about this, an anchored VWAP right at its IPO here for NewScale. And it's right at it right now. I mean, this 50-period move, the 50 period's the pink, the purple is the anchored VWAP in and around 770 as we trade 815. I like that we held it. It bounced off of it, finally breaks, gets higher, gets really going. A double up from, or almost triple actually, from that anchor. Now it's fallen all the way back in, and now we get back above it. Is SMR back in play now?
Maybe for a trade, but I wouldn't trust it more than a couple of days, simply because look at this red 20-day moving average and how it's really just trapped this stock for the last couple months. And we're approaching that quickly. So that's what I would call a level of interest that has the potential to maybe do something like this in there. And then, flatten out. And then maybe it could make a more significant run up towards that 50. But, this is a nice move from 6.5 up to 8.5 the last 2 days. That's 30%, 3 days. So it might need to pause a little bit of that 20-day moving average. And that's also on the right. You can see the anchor off of the August 5th low that I have on all my charts. But that's right up in that general area of the 20-day moving average as well. So I wouldn't sell it short there, but I would be aware that if you're holding long, that there's the potential for supply there.
Great talk about NewScale there. We also have, I just saw in the note here, I forgot about that, hurricanes going through. So definitely there as we talk about hitting New Orleans, Texas area as well in the Gulf. So we did see oil and USO with some nice downside moves. We already talked about that. He never asks me to do it, but I'm going to do it one more time. It's maximum trading gains with an anchored VWAP. I want everyone to go pick this up. How's your tree planting program going? Is that still on as well? Can we go over there to the website and donate to that?
That's on forever. As long as people want to buy mugs like this with the anchor.
There it is.
And shirts and stickers and caps and things that say only price pays and don't buy the dip. 100% of the profits go towards that. I'm not in the business of selling merchandise.
Same.
I've killed a lot of trees selling books, so let's reforest the earth.
I love that plan. They can go get that at alphatrends.net. Always welcome on our show whenever you want. And I want to thank you for coming every single Tuesday, right on the nose. Thank you so much. Brian Shannon of Anchored VWAP and, of course, alphatrends.net. Go check that out and give him a big support there. Get that merchandise. I love all of that stuff. Hey, maybe I'll get myself one of those mugs and just keep drinking it on the show. Thank you, Brian, once again for all of your insights. Definitely a friend of the show, Brian Shannon. Be well, my friend.
Thanks for having me on. Take care, everybody.
No problem. Thank you. It's Trader Talk. Simply the best. Roll call. All right, we'll wrap this thing up. It is 4:30 before I get messages from the wife. Wait, is she in the chat? Oh, there it is. It must be Ramin over there. Yes, it is. Right there. The funny thing is, so Ramin the other day, so you have to get into our, right now there is some construction being done to get into our parking. And Ramin right here, she's just spending all the money. She's got herself some new whips. It looks very, very nice. I have to admit that. I told her that. And I get a note the other day is like, Brendan's like, how are you guys getting into the basement? Ramin is stuck up top there. The security guy didn't let her in. I was like, what's going on right there? But eventually got in. You wave to him now. Yeah, that's what you got to do every day. You got to say hi right there and get let in. So right now, we got to fly out of here. So we got to be quickly. It is roll call right now. Shout out to you, Mr. Dan McIsaac. He goes, you're all killing it right now. Thank you, Dan, for that one. Yo, yo, yo. Still here, says BJZ. There it is. There we go. Trader Leah says, hey, we nailed e.l.f. Cosmetics. I'll talk to the wife. I'll see what kind of bills is going through on e.l.f. as that made moves downside right there. I can only report today, me and Randy went to Starbucks, so that could be a possible buy, and then Costco, and then Loblaws. That's where she shopped today. Whoop, there it is, says Zion. Kindly Ready, or Kind Ready is here as well. Robbie V, Take Profit, JKA, Bears vs. Bulls. Whoop. Dan H, Verisod, Fluffy Hippo. We like that name. We talked about that. Ozan, I don't have the cow here, but you're here as well. Thank you, everybody, for staying with us. Over 2,500. David Dyer, YouTube, Juan, Blue Arrow, Dave B, Hugh, something is here. Michelle Meir says, thanks, Brian. I say thanks, Brian, as well. Brian Shannon from Anchored VWAP fame as well. Hey, Davis the Piper, Ozan, Steve Romero, everybody, Derek Thompson. We couldn't do this without Ramin, without Fabian. Thank you so much to those two for helping us out. Big shout out to my good friend Obi for putting on a heck of a show there as well today. We'll see if Neil's back in the saddle tomorrow. You know where I'll be. Sitting right back there tomorrow. Join us all at 8:30. Go find me at Trader TV Sean. I tweet out that sticky note. Some people like it every single day. Go find that immediately. We had some bangers on there today, including our guys. I'm not going to let this one down. Amazon was such a monster trade. I was really actually proud of myself today for taking this trade. We actually lined this trade up today, and that bottom take was awesome, but it was a maximum position right there, breaking through 178.50. Huge trade, out some there at 180. We eventually lost it. We left it alone, but it closes near some lows at 179, but 180 in play tomorrow for Amazon. Watch me trade that tomorrow live on this show. Thank you so much. Enjoy the debate tonight. We'll see what happens with that one. GME on watch, DJT on watch, but more importantly, Trader TV Live on watch. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. I'm back tomorrow. Ciao, everybody.